Welcome back, our dear listeners. It's that time of year where love is in the air. It's Jay here, and as part of some kind of cruel joke, on this episode we return to the tradition of torturing Jay, and again, revisit 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you. On this episode, we read chapters 60 to 83. I hope you guys are reading along, because this one is particularly painful, but we do this just for you, our beloved listeners. I love you from the bottom of our very, 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 very critical hearts. Happy Valentine's Day. Let's start the episode.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Over Manga Cast. My name is Sam, and as always, we talk about our familiarity with the thing that we read this week, except it's Valentine's Day, so you know what that means. It's time for more 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you. And
more pain.
As typical, I have not read since last year. I wanted to, savor my experience with this. Sure, we'll call it that. But how about you, Matt?
No. I have not interacted with this at all. I have interacted with at least a dozen people who have said we should read more of this on not Valentine's Day, and I'm sorry we didn't fulfill your wishes. We tried. We just had a lot of recommendations this year, and it just feels good to have Valentine's Day dedicated to love. And holy shit, is there way too much love in 100 Girlfriends. Like, just a dangerous amount of love.
An earth-risking amount of love. How about you, Jay?
I try to stay away from this thing. This thing is brain rot, the manga.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. And Jacob.
I noted that I actually didn't like this manga last time because it was kind of fulfilling all of the concerns I had about it in our first couple of readings.
It has not... Well, so in a sense, it hasn't disappointed.
That's a way of putting it.
It hasn't disappointed by continuing to be a disappointment. So, we open up with... Well, it's 100 Girlfriends. It's slice of life bullshit until we get a mini arc of either more dedicated one particularly dedicated piece of slice of life bullshit, or a new girlfriend. But we open up with just a normal shenanigans chapter. I guess it was Iku's turn. Iku, the masochist sports girl.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was her turn to get a dedicated one-on-one chapter.
Yeah, I liked that they gave Iku some time in the sun where she wasn't just one note. And like the way they set this up is actually pretty fun because she's like, I heard there's this super scary horror movie. I'm really into that. And Rentaro is he has no personality of his own. He is just subservient to the wants of his girlfriends. So he loves scary movies. And all the other girls do not like scary movies. So Iku is given some one-on-one time for an entire date.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, if the other girls aren't around to provide girly energy, I can't tomboy it up, so I need to wear a dress, which isn't tight enough, so I don't like that, but it's for Rentaro.
And they go see their spooky movie. It's very spooky. It's very scary. There's a lot of people in the theater who are very scared.
There's Iku, who's very feeling something.
She's having an experience.
Iku is enjoying a scary movie.
Yes.
Iku is the most normal in this chapter out of our entire reading, so...
You know what? Yeah.
The bar is not set high.
It's almost like when the girls have individual chapters, or like when we focus on like two of them at a time or something, they can be characters.
They have actual personalities, yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like there are too many characters in this manga or something.
Good job,
I don't
reader.
know.
You should really take the moral from here. When you're in a relationship, your personality should just devolve into that relationship, and you should be nothing outside of it.
I'm not kidding you. I know too many, unfortunately, women who have done just that.
Well, Rentaro is the one who's doing it in this, so...
Learn from Rentaro. Don't be this.
We have an entire chapter dedicated to explaining why Rentaro is not built differently, built incorrectly, like just wrong.
I will give this manga credit. There are multiple chapters in this where they're just like, this situation is really fucked up.
It's
this
aware.
is not desirable.
The manga is aware, but it keeps doing it, and I'm just like, I hate you, manga. I hate you.
Well, I mean,
the premise is already committed to if he doesn't do it, these women die. Like,
yeah.
There's no such thing as being too generous. You're crazy.
Well, and I mean, like, not for nothing, I think this is worth pointing out. For as repetitive and tropey as it is, it's competently written. Like, it's not that it's low quality. Like, the fact that people like this, I get it. It's just, God, it's so one note. I can only take, honestly, I can only take about one chapter a year, let alone one arc.
Full reading.
Yeah.
But as they're leaving, they see some batting cages where it's like, so they've got a special, like, ultra speedy target that you need to hit. And if you do, you get a special home run bat signed by a super famous baseball player. And there's
Iku is super excited because she is not normally in this part of town. So she has never actually tried out these batting cages.
Yes. And there's one other couple there, generic couple, number 5,000.
Generic villain couple.
I'm pretty sure it's literally the same two people every time, and they just don't recognize Rentaro, or Rentaro doesn't recognize them. Because, like, every time there's one of these one-on-one dates, there's a generic evil couple that appears in the background, and I'm pretty sure it's these two.
I don't think that's true, but I don't have enough confidence to say you're wrong.
I don't think that's true either, but I don't feel like reading the previous chapters to confirm I'm right.
Me neither. So, naturally, because she's a baseball prodigy, Iku almost hits the special target on the first swing, but she's not in her athletic gear, so she can't move properly.
And through a bunch of convoluted nonsense, it swaps over to Rentaro trying to do it.
Yes.
Well, you say convoluted nonsense. It's literally the boyfriend says, why you letting your girl bat for you? Let's settle this one-on-one like men. And Rentora's like, I will murder you with this baseball bat. Whoa. I meant like a baseball hitting competition, bud. What the fuck?
Why'd you call my girl ugly? I'll beat your ass to death.
I did like the bit where the other girl is just tearing down Iku's just like, oh yeah, I couldn't even tell which one of you is supposed to be the girl and which one's supposed to be the guy. And Iku's just like, ooh, I feel so humiliated. Yeah.
Why does she look even more motivated?
I thought she was into physical pain. Why is she Temu brand darkness?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Because even Temu brand darkness is still best girl.
So they hit in the batting cages far into the night.
This is literally the monkeys and typewriters given infinite time.
I did appreciate that the manga just didn't make Rentaro super good at baseball because he's in love.
Yeah, he literally says, I will keep swinging until I hit it. By the law of large numbers, it will work.
And by the law of large numbers, it does in fact work.
Yep.
Yay!
And then Rentaro immediately collapses. I can't feel my everything.
And we get a sad backstory for the villain couple.
I love it so much.
Makes them more interesting than any of the main characters.
It's literally like, but baby, your sister's in the hospital.
She loves a baseball injury.
Much.
She had a baseball injury, and now she's too scared to play. That's why I wanted to get her that commemorative bat. So Iku's like, here, have the commemorative bat. And evil McGirlfriend goes to like swing the bat at her, and Iku's like, yes, present ass for paddling.
Which actually stops her so that she can notice that it's the
signed bat.
The signed bat.
Yeah.
Don't look disappointed that I didn't hit you. I'm having an emotional moment here.
That girl ain't right.
Hey, that girl knows what she wants at least. As always on the Overmongcast, we don't kink shame, but man, 100 Girlfriends really does make us kink ask why.
Several times it makes us ask why.
Speaking of kinking ask why, the next chapter happens.
I'm just saying it's also kink discovery at times. I'm like, what even is this?
what kink is this? I didn't know this existed. I gotta say, it was the experience. I read chapter 60, and it's like, I've mentioned a couple of times on this show, I'm not the biggest fan of slice of life. I kind of want some kind of like main plot to keep me invested, and then I can, like you explore the characters with that. Is just, a stylistic thing. And it's like, but I remember liking 100 Girlfriends, and chapter 60, yeah, that was pretty good. That was solid. Then 61 happens, and it's like, oh yeah, that's why I don't like 100 Girlfriends. Because of the back half of this.
Yeah, because school's over, everybody's going their separate ways, but Chio needs to go to the store. She's Rentaro's like second cousin or something, and also 12.
Yeah.
Second cousin, yeah.
They to be fair, they like remembering one of those more than the other, but both of them are bad and they don't forget either of them, so yeah. I don't know why I'm defending this crap.
We have to cover all of our bases, all of them.
No, well, apparently we have to cover all of our bases. We'll get to that.
So, at times, the manga seems to acknowledge how weird and fucked up this particular one is and kind of pushes it to the side. But this chapter doesn't do that, so yeah. I don't know what I'm saying.
So, because she's like, I need to go get groceries for dinner. And Rentaro's like, oh, I needed to go to the store for something. And so does Shizuka. And so does Kursuri. So, yay, shopping date with the
children.
With the emotes. Okay.
With the children. With the
children.
With the high schooler who just looks young for her age. With the middle schooler who is her age. And the upperclassman who is in the body of an 8-year-old.
And later on in this reading will assert is actually has the mind of an 8-year-old, which
has mentally regressed as well.
Let's double down on that.
They didn't confirm that until this that chapter that happens later, and man, could have done without that.
Could have done without
Agreed.
that.
Because that does not stop Rentaro from making out with the 8-year-old. Oh, he's the hero.
Hey, Chio, why do you keep asking me to drink the reversing medicine and turn into Big Surrey again? No reason. Is it because you like my big boobs in that form? Shut up. Oh no, my glasses. They fell under the thing. Yes, it's because you remind me of my mom in your big form. Aw, it's okay. I don't have any reversing medicine, so I'm not going to do the thing. Okay.
That's the closest we get to an emotional payoff. No, I forgot. We also get a weird scene where Rentaro in his mind goes, wow, Chio really had to mature because her dad is a loser who really can't take care of himself. So she's really had to not be her age and had to mature up. But man, when she does all that mommy shit, damn is that hot and I want to wife that girl up. Wait, no, that's my cousin.
Now that's a bit too generous. They don't even wait. That's my cousin.
Nope, he's just like, yep, I'm wifing that girl up. Immediately after saying how sad it is that she had to grow up so fast.
I don't think he knows. He could never know what he wants.
Rentaro can't want anything is the problem.
Pure brain rot, just pure testosterone.
The only thing he wants is to have all these girls be happy.
Wait, hold on. Barely an ounce of testosterone in this boy.
It's because he expends it all to perform.
I would believe that. I'm pretty sure there are some interesting emissions going on.
I don't think he has time.
No, see that he expends all the testosterone to bend space and time.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean like Harvey?
Is it possible to learn this power?
Let's see, that's the real reason why they can't actually have sex in this manga. It's because if he nuts, it releases all of his power.
Oh my god.
That manga already exists and it isn't this.
The worst part is I knew that because you were describing it before. Oh my god.
Oh, so
hey, if you want Manga Cast After Dark,
if you want to write in and recommend we read something, guess which manga I was referencing.
Requested on the Patreon we don't have.
Yep. So if it's not clear, I don't think a lot of us liked this chapter. So they go on a shopping date, and the moral is that it should be okay to act your age. Except what he finds hot about Chio is that she's so mature for her age, which is what everyone who's into children says.
Yeah.
There-
Yeah.
That wasn't even a joke. I don't know what that was.
There's also the panels where it's like, yeah, Chio, go have fun with the other kids your age. And then the reminder that both Shizuka and Kursuri are older than her.
Are regressing into childhood because they can't handle the stresses of their older age. Everyone's healthy in this.
Everyone's so healthy in this.
Choices were made.
But yeah, they go shopping, and there's a moral lesson that is kind of ruined.
Yeah, there's some more bullies. Rentaro at one point dual wields shopping carts because the bullies physically threaten the girls.
Kasuri's method of dealing with the bullies is the point where it's like, oh right, that's why I don't like this manga.
What? That's literally a JoJo gag.
Well, the magnetized thing is a JoJo gag. Yes, I'm talking about the other part. The X-Men approach to fetishes doesn't work quite as well as the X-Men approach to superheroes.
What are you talking about? Of course, Kasuri has a potion that makes you 69 people. Like, why is that not a thing?
Listen, I just really appreciate Rentaro's dual shopping cart technique.
I feel like Rentaro is physically threatening violence on people more often in this.
Yeah, he gets real unhinged in this. When a lot of people are just asking him very genuine questions, like.
Yeah, I think Rentaro is a genuine weirdo.
This is what clued you in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was a weirdo in the beginning, like
a true freak.
You know what? I'll put this little bit of respect onto the manga. Rentaro isn't the cardboard cutout he started off as, nor the cardboard cutout that most of these types of protagonists are. I don't think his personality that he actually has is good.
I like that Rentaro. If I were to describe Rentaro, he is what should be a normal cardboard cutout protagonist, but in like a kind of weird Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead turn of fate. He is aware that he is a harem protagonist in an insane, impossible to rectify situation, and is just like, I don't know how to be the archetype I am, and is slowly breaking because of that.
God, wouldn't that be interesting if they actually did anything with it? They won't, but
I don't know. We get a lot of like near misses in our reading.
There's got to be a critical mass of girlfriends where like something has to happen along those lines.
Something has to break.
Guys, we just need to keep reading until they have the perfect number of girlfriends.
Anyway, who's ready for the discount Oshinoko arc?
Good on you, Sam, for remembering that idols are a part of Oshinoko.
Hey, Ruby was important to our last reading.
Debatable.
So, because Hahari happened to see an insurance commercial about not dying with regrets, she's like, all right, guys, we're going to throw the most fun school spring festival ever.
Wait, it's still spring?
Someone notes that, yeah. I'm gonna book an idol group. What do you mean they all got in an accident?
What do you mean they all got in an accident a week before the festival? Hey guys, who wants to be idols? I'm sorry, what?
Can we say no? Then we won't have a plot. Okay. Okay, actually, one thing that I want to note about our reading section is previously, I have really been annoyed and disliked a lot of the fourth wall jokes that 100 Girlfriends has made because they very much come off as I'm a parody, you can't criticize me, that type of joke.
Fourth wall is dust.
This time they've not been doing that. This time their fourth wall jokes have been like more like brazen and confident and have actually genuinely been funny.
Their fourth wall jokes are literally just, this premise was insane to begin with and is now just losing validity every single chapter.
But we're gonna keep going.
The universe is coming apart at the seams and they can do nothing about it.
But there's a brazen confidence to it now that wasn't there before that I appreciate, and it actually made me laugh.
It acknowledges the premise is stupid. It acknowledges what's going on is stupid. But here we are anyway.
Yeah, and it's like, this is stupid. We shouldn't have done this, but we're committed and we're gonna make it work. like that's the part that makes it work for me. Where the humor actually lies.
Yeah, they start up an idol group and they hire a former idol to like whip them into shape. And it naturally devolves into, there is a group that is good at this, there is a group that is salvageable at this, and there is a group that is just awful at this. But obviously, we need all of the girls together to make the Rentaro's family idol group.
Oh. Surprisingly, the idol coach was not another girlfriend.
I half expected that, yeah, but she wasn't.
Nope, women are allowed to exist in this without being girlfriends.
I know, it's shocking.
It is shocking. Literally, you can count them on one hand.
I will say I did like the big 2-page spread of the girls and their home lives, because we don't get a lot of that, and it's fun.
Yes.
I will say what I was, and this is going to be like speaking to the whole thing, and we can go over it in detail after this, but what I was honestly expecting is I didn't care enough to check this carefully, but I don't know that Rentaro was like speaking directly to the coach at any point. And what I was expecting to happen, and like this kind of doubled down with the like, they get scouted at the end. Like, it's like, oh, you could actually be an idol group, and it's going to be the idol arc now. And it's like the punchline to that joke was really freaking obvious. But I feel like, was that the idol coach in disguise? And I thought what was going to happen is that the idol coach was going to be like, what do you mean you won't do it? Takes off glasses, reveals identity, and then becomes girlfriend. But that did not happen. It just kind of stopped.
Yeah, it just sort of ends. But all the girls that are not doing great, namely all the big booby ones and the kids.
You can't be an idol and have massive cans.
There's too much jumping around.
Yeah. Sorry. Gotta gatekeep that.
Hahari falls over at one point, like, I can't control them. I'm powerless against my boobs.
True.
They're like, maybe we should just quit so that we don't drag the others down. And they go to say this, opening the door to hear the coach saying, yeah, we're kicking those other ones so that they don't drag the rest of you down. They suck. No.
Well, fine, I quit then.
I appreciate that of the talented ones, like, half of them are blonde.
Yes. But Rentaro decides that I will be the coach now. How would you do that? I watched DVDs of your rehearsals until the desks melted. You've had them for 3 days. How? Seriously, Rentaro compresses time and space. This boy is a singularity.
We do get confirmed in a later chapter that during this arc, he did not sleep at all.
Space is warped and time is bendable.
But yeah, they grind out training for an insane amount of time, and then they're all put up on the big stage at the school festival because there's like 14 of them. So obviously they have to be on the big stage. Nowhere else is fitting them.
Naturally, Rentaro is the only one in the crowd screaming for them, like a true idol fan. The rest of the crowd sort of mills away.
The coach is set up as a villain because I'm going to bring the real idol, sign autographs to draw the crowd away,
because
to prove me right.
To prove me right, those amateurs can't get anything done. Though I do really like the panel of Rentaro being like, due to a series of incredibly mysterious coincidences, none of the girls' families could come.
I laughed out loud at that panel because that was great. It was just like, we're going to avoid having to deal with all their families.
Oh,
But yeah,
I also like that the two idols that the coach brought are discount Oshinoko characters.
yeah,
one of them is literally Ruby.
One of them's literally Ruby, and the other one is.
It looks like their mom, who I can't remember the name of at the moment.
I thought
Yeah,
it looked more like the one that starts with a K.
No, you're right. It does look
Kusumi?
like
No,
I want to say Kurumi, but I think that's wrong.
You're right.
We're not reading Oshinoko right now.
yeah.
I has long hair. You're right. I was misremembering.
Yeah, it's at the very least, it's the other one's hairstyle.
The one in the back is just Ruby, though.
Yes,
that's
literally.
just Ruby.
In all honesty, I think there's 3 of them, with one of them just barely off panel, and that one's probably I.
So
or it could be Memcho. I like Memcho.
I think it's Memcho because I think it's supposed to be like their group.
The Oshinoko characters, yeah.
It's a Baka 69. That's what the group was called.
That's a totally real idol group name. This is fine.
We cut back to the girls dancing for no one other than Rentaro, which would normally be enough for them, but like they're clearly disappointed that there is no audience.
Yeah.
But don't worry, Rentaro was prepared for the fact that no one would show up and worked with his uncle to create a large amount of Rentaro puppets.
Rentaro and Uncle Hero puppets. Oh, also Uncle Hero is wearing a shirt that says Chio Stan.
Yes, he is.
He is so weird.
No
one in his family is weird. Honestly, this guy is nothing but walking red flags.
I'm sorry I was late. I got hit by a truck on the way here.
Oh, because he's an isekai protagonist.
Yeah.
That would explain some things. I will say, there is one... I did a double take. I couldn't believe that this was actually released, where Hikari sees all of the Rentaro puppets, and she literally says, I only have so many orifices. They're like, what the fuck is this manga?
That was a step beyond what their normal joke is.
Yeah.
It just came out of fucking nowhere, man!
What would I do with so many Rentaros? I only have so many orifices.
Better start double and triple stuffing.
Jesus Christ. I also like that they invited all the background characters to show up. Rentaro ran around with pamphlets to like every
all of the like minor like villains and antagonists that have been. I only remember the gorilla lady and her posse and her tiny boyfriend. Those are the only ones I remember existing.
Yep.
I have no idea who the entire right half of this page is, so same.
Yeah.
Me neither. I do like how how the girls acknowledge, seeing the army of Uncanny Valley Rentaros and Uncle Heroes is going to give me nightmares.
Oh yeah, that's on the same page as the orifices comment. It's like nothing about this is correct.
So this chapter is kind of insane because there is so many just amazing action panels of all the girls, and they're all wearing slightly different outfits. And the entire time I'm just going like, you didn't have to go this hard. Why did you? I mean, I applaud you. This was really good. Iku's outfit, top tier, but
what are we doing here? But shockingly enough, the army of puppets, the Gurira gang, and all these other random background characters actually creates enough of a crowd.
Oh, I just realized it's not the talent scout isn't the coach in disguise, because the two of them are in the same place at the same time.
They're so amateur, but how do they shine so brightly?
Yeah,
literally just Oshinoko.
Yep. No, and then like the last page is just an Oshinoko page because it does the same shading that this manga does not do, but Oshinoko does. Anyway, they get scouted by a talent scout, Mazizus Jesus.
I was baffled. Do we know who this is supposed to be referencing?
It doesn't matter.
Jesus. Yeah.
It's Jesus.
Is Jesus.
it's your boy Jesus.
But yeah, he's like, yes, do you want to become idols? And then the narrator is just like, the idol road arc begins. But always, the one rule about being idols, you can't be in a relationship. Yo, we don't get to meet Rentaro? Out!
We're out.
Every single one of them.
Damn. That used
And
to be
now the
peak.
idol road arc is over. Which this is the obvious punchline I was to. Like, obviously that was the joke they were gonna go with.
So anyway, we get a new girlfriend. There is literally no lead up to this one. She is the cover of the page, and the done happens on panel 1. It's insane.
Yep.
There is no wasted time here.
Gotta get that girlfriend acquisition up. Right out of the gate.
We're what? 15%?
Yeah, we
Like-
got
Chapter 64.
really got to increase those gains.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, this girl has many gains. She's very large.
Got to go find yourself a big lady.
A big lady.
Big
Yes.
girl, you are beautiful.
Giant woman.
I want to see.
I'm just saying, hear me out.
This isn't much of a hear me out. She's
I'd
very
call-
attractive.
I'd climb her.
Like a tree.
I'm literally. We know. This is not a hear me out moment. It's in 100 Girlfriends. There's an audience.
Yep.
I think there are certain girlfriends in 100 Girlfriends that
Better
really
hear
do
me
need
out.
to hear me out.
Yes, I agree with that assessment.
We'll come up to one later on.
Oh boy. But yes, the premise is that Rentaro wanted to get all the girlfriends flower crowns, but where would I find flowers at this hour? You could try the gardening club. Yeah, I'll try the gardening club. Thanks, Siku.
Is every club in this just one girl?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. We don't have time to waste on superfluous characters that aren't going to be girlfriends.
To be fair, we are told there are other gardening club members. They just exist in the background and aren't ever shown.
Nope.
Actually, and during the next
The backs-
girlfriend introduction, we do.
Yeah, the backs of their heads are shown once.
Fair.
So they
Yeah.
do in fact exist. They are real, probably.
Also, I love this girl because she speaks with a rural accent, which you might confuse for the American accent that America Boo Chan says.
that Natty does.
They are different accents.
They are distinct. Natty is Texas.
Planet Texas. Oh my god, Natty in this reading section infuriated me. Oh god, we'll get to it.
Stop talking bad about the best character in this, Jacob.
Natty is Texas. Well, this girl, Yamame, she is hick.
Yes.
She's
She's also a
cute
Disney
cute-
princess.
She is.
Yes. She literally has butterflies in her hair.
I mean, if a Disney princess was a size 14.
You know what? She is a beautiful big lady.
I'm saying she can be both.
Yes.
Disney is still in its woke phase, right?
Ah, well,
Good question.
depending on when people are listening to this, maybe?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Was it? There, some people would ask, was it ever?
It definitely tried for a few years. Whether or not it succeeded was debatable.
Uh,
But yeah, but Rentaro's like, do you literally have butterflies and flowers in your hair? Yep, I want to make sure that my little friends have a nice place to nest.
Wash your hair at all?
I shampoo real careful like. It'd break my heart to evict them.
Huh. I think I love
Does-
you.
Does she use soap? Because
Yeah,
You know-
real careful like.
Because soap is alive.
no, because bacteria are alive.
Nobody
Okay.
tell her about microorganisms.
Jay, this character would say that soap is alive.
There is at least one inanimate object where she says it's alive, and probably Karumi points out, no, it isn't.
Her entire gimmick is that she is very like in touch with nature, doesn't want to hurt anything, is not a vegan, although I would everything else about her ideology, like I would have assumed that, but people can be whatever they want.
Yeah. She's very gentle giant. She uses stilts when she's in the garden because she's got feet as wide as the hills. So if I don't tread careful, I can cause a ruckus.
There's an entire bonus chapter about her as a little girl accidentally stepping on a bug and having trauma flashbacks about killing it. And then they're like, Papa never came home. You killed our father. No. And her dad had to hypnotize her into pretending that he was a giant bug and say that sometimes this cruel world just kills beautiful things. It ain't your fault, little sweet pea. I completely accept that reasoning, giant bug.
Yeah, this is the weirdest adaptation of Metamorphosis I've ever read.
You see, it's a metaphor for capitalism.
The guy with the right grind set gets the most girlfriends at the top.
Why can't we simply take over the means of producing girlfriends? Then we, the proletariat, make sure that a man is entitled to the girlfriends of the sweat of his brow. Wait, no, that's libertarianism. I'm finding the wrong ideology.
Much like our reading, this episode has rapidly devolved into not.
Yeah. Anyway, Big Girl is beautiful. She's got all the squirrels. They have an entire bit where Rentaro wants to compare her to Nausicaa, forgetting that he's referencing the robot soldier from Laputa, but he refuses to acknowledge that because he's like, she's not a robot soldier. She's a beautiful princess.
Also pretty sure that robot dies.
I'm sure it's fine.
I'm not letting you put death flags in this. She's too precious.
Anyway, the manga remembers that the vice principal is a character. I really wish they wouldn't. Because she was kicked out from the host she was paying, and now she is trying to find some like guys on the sports team to harass who are students at the school she is a vice principal of. So this woman should not be around children.
Yeah, so she's crawling around like the Grudge because she twisted her hip.
There is also a bit where she's burning incense and it reveals that gentle giant girlfriend is afraid of fire. They don't do a lot with this, but that is the personality trait they say she has.
Yeah.
The ocean is so vast. You need to cling on to whatever driftwood you find. I do like the idea that like she's so used to sheltering others that when Rentaro
protects her from the vice principal's hair ablaze,
like that's actually something that she finds particularly endearing. And I like that aspect of her character. Like all of the characters in this manga, she will rapidly lose personality traits until she's a character of her former self because there's too many characters in this manga. But I liked that. That was motivated and interesting. I wish she had her own manga that she could actually be a character in.
I like her back and forth with Rentaro about how she clearly likes him a lot beginning, but it's just like, yeah, you're that girlfriend you came here to get a flower crown for. She's one lucky lady. Sure wish I could be her. Not going to say that part out loud. But I mean, hey, I'm just going to admit this. You saved my life. I think I love you, but I really shouldn't be saying that. That's putting you in an awful harsh position because you've already got one girlfriend. I have 14 girlfriends.
What?
I have 14 girlfriends. Also, I love you.
Will you become number 15? Oh no, wait. He has 13. She's number 14.
Oh, right.
Oh my gosh, got ahead of yourself there.
Regardless, he gives a polygamy speech.
Because polygamy's all around in nature. Then proceeds to mention birds and squirrels who are notoriously breed for life. Ants would have been a great example. Lions.
You're one with the earth? Sure.
She even cares that the vice principal didn't die.
Yep.
which really
I feel like that's going too far with the kindness, because I'd rather if the vice principal never showed up again, but here we are.
But, yep, now that we have the girlfriend introduction chapter, we have to have the introduce her to the rest of the family chapter.
Yep.
I don't remember which introduction it was, but at one point, Rentaro refers to the new girl as one of our new girlfriends, and I really liked that. I wish that was consistent. Yep. Because in all honesty, the places where it's funny and charming, generally speaking, have to do, like, this is character-based humor. So, like, them all having interactions with each other, and, like, just, throwing out a bit of writing advice out of there. If you do want to write, like, either for a comedy series or a serious series, if you want to write, like, a polygamous situation, the way you make that work is to make everyone involved care about everybody else romantically. And 100 Girlfriends, when it remembers to have actual characters, it does that pretty well. Like, there's a reason this is popular, is not for me.
We got everybody flower crowns. Hahari happened to overorder some curtains because she was rewatching a clip of the Idol show, and it made her not pay attention to how much she was ordering.
You should not be allowed around money.
Aren't you ordering that off the school's expenses? Shut up.
Yep, and they deck out all the girls in white curtain dresses and flower crowns, which, as someone who's watched Midsummer, I was terrified.
Yeah, I'm with you here, Matt. I was terrified. I'm like, oh great, they're just coming out and saying, oh, this is a cult.
Oh man, Rentaro is going to be dressed in a bear suit and murdered.
And that would be a reference. Woo! And they made some fire references in this reading, at least.
Jay, it's not One Piece. They're not going to reference it. Because holy shit, are there a bunch of One Piece references in this reading?
I mentioned that this is a character humor based series. Because the characters are so thin, they have to lean a lot on references, and that's something I've been noticing more and more. There will be cases where they will just cut away gag Family Guy style to a reference to another manga.
What is this, Golden Kamuy?
God.
That chapter is just Golden Kamuy. Like,
yeah.
Yes. They even admit it.
But yeah, this entire chapter is literally just the gimmick that they're in the garden and they are all Venuses. They are your fire, your desire.
So it's just the girls being cute in the garden.
Yep. There's a great just tracing of Nico Robbins' I Want to Live, but about one of the girls wanting strawberries.
Yeah, it's Hungry Girl. I forget her name.
I forget all their names, Sam.
I remember it's either 3 or 4 characters' names, because I remember Nano's name because of our joke. I will never forget Throat Goat Nano.
Yep.
Karumi, because the Tsundere character is the one I'm supposed to like the most, and then Hikari, because she's usually character-wise paired with Karumi, and also paired in other ways as well.
I just remember. Oh wow! I said I remembered something. I'm literally blanking. What the fuck? No, okay. I remember Iku and Kasuri. One of them for good reasons, the other for not.
You know what? Fair.
But,
Shizuka. I remember Shizuka exists.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you who Shizuka is.
She's the squirrel.
Oh, that makes sense.
She's the mute squirrel.
So anyway,
she's quiet.
Aw.
She's
this entire chapter, as I said, is they're all Venuses in the garden. They're all just messing around doing plant stuff. It's just a whole bunch of like gardening gags, and the main like emotional thing here is Yamashiki, I think is her name, giantess, is basically self-conscious about the fact she's so much taller than all the other girls. So Rentaro's around just kissing everybody because they're all like, "Ooh, strawberries."
Because Rentaro's a slut. 100%.
He's not a slut. He's in a committed relationship with each and every one of these girls.
Yes.
And and Yamashiki is self-conscious about the fact that no man would want a woman when she has to bend down to kiss him.
And so Rentaro calls her over, and all the other girls are standing atop mounds of dirt to be tall. And he's like, I've always wanted to kiss a tall girl, but why? They have to duck down to your height. I know. Isn't that hot?
I want to fucking climb Mount Everest and lock lips with it. What? Yeah, it's so fucking hot. Yamashiki, bend down and like tongue fuck my mouth. What?
Okay.
Is not that far from what actually happens.
They do get mobbed, and then he is just like mauled by.
It's like a scene from Attack on Titan. Remember how I said a lot of reference?
I like that the sports club comes up here, and they are just Attack on Titan. They're Armin. I don't know why I started with the one name I remember.
Misaka.
We here on the Over Manga Cast are bad with names. You should know that by now.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say I like about Yamashiki is she has the healthiest relationship with her parents, because her dad literally just looks out for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the flashback to her having this self-conscious thing is because they were watching a TV show and it was some douche on TV going like, no guy wants a tall girlfriend. That's fucking garbage. Am I right, guys? And the dad looks like he's about to throw the TV out the window. Like
it is a healthy amount of righteous dad fury.
So we now have our next mini arc. The Hot Pot Mystery Hour.
Holy shit, was this a pain to read?
That was awful. And I got it after the first and second jokes. And after that, I'm like, oh my God, too much.
The Hot Pot Mystery Hour is literally a chapter where they're like, let's have a hot pot mystery where each girl brings something that's representative of them. And it's just the entire chapter is, I brought this thing because it's my character trait. I brought this thing because it's my character trait. I brought this thing. It's not a thing you put in a hot pot. And that happens like 4 times.
But it's almost as if there's too many characters in this manga, and it probably should have stopped at like 11.
But that's not 100 girlfriends.
They bit off a little bit more too much.
To be fair, we did skim this over. They reference that in the bookstore when they're shopping with the girl. It's like they're talking. There's these 2 guys going like, yeah, no, this book has a bunch of cute girls. Oh yeah, 100 girlfriends? Yeah, the mangaka apparently named it that just because it was a fun title and didn't think he'd actually have to make that many.
But now he's committed to the bit. So
well, yeah, no, that's one of the better fourth wall jokes, because Rentaro's immediately, and it's amazing, and then there's like an of yeah, we're gonna go for it. You don't think I will? I'm gonna do it. And it's like, you know what? I respect the hustle. If you're gonna make those fourth wall jokes, make them confident.
I have realized midway through this was a terrible idea, but it's paying my rent.
Before they make the hot pot, they tie up Kasuri and Hikari. Why do you not trust us?
I wonder why.
Because Kasuri, you're going to put in some weird drugs, and Hikari, you're going to put in some aphrodisiacs because you're a sex pest. No. Bring out the lie detector. I put in something that everyone would consider food. That's technically the truth.
That's concerning.
Really specific the way you said that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a bunch of one-note jokes about their character archetypes. The one I liked is that at the very end, the last thing in there is a full Big Mac. And they're like,
oh, that was so gross.
Who could have put that in? And it was Natty. And it's just like, yeah.
Of course it was.
Howdy.
Howdy. I love Big Macs.
I wonder why.
I do love how Hungry Girl is eating it, going like, well, it still tastes like a Big Mac. Because you can literally do nothing to a Big Mac to make it not taste like a Big Mac. Yeah, they find out that, lo and behold, someone did drug the hot pot. Because, man, are these girls hot and horny.
Yep. Because Hikari put in otter meat, just like Golden Kamuy. I actually couldn't source any otters, so I just marinated beef in aphrodisiacs.
I find it so baffling how much they want to confirm for you that no fictional otters were harmed in the making of the. Like, I wouldn't even thought about the fact that otters need to be killed to eat otter meat if they didn't keep bringing it up.
It's not like
They
they
didn't want to
care
get
about.
canceled, you see. Obviously, everything
like-
else,
but
dating
like
a
a cow-
13-year-old, no problem. But we didn't want to push that too far.
I love how dating the 13-year-old is the line, not the multiple 8-year-olds he's also dating. I'm sorry, that hasn't happened yet. We'll get there. But yeah, so unfortunately, the otter meat or the pseudo otter meat is making them way too hot and horny. So they got to get all this sexy energy out, but in a productive way. That's wholesome for this manga, which is wholesome. Which is the first time I would have ever used that word to describe this.
later on, there's a moment where, wait, this is a wholesome manga. It never lets me win, and I'm like, this is wholesome? Question mark. The other thing that's kind of baffling to me is the fact that Hikari has become the pervert. Like, that's her archetype. Because isn't she supposed to be the Genki girl? Like,
well, she had an arc about getting to like come to terms with her feelings, so she had character growth. Is the thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because that was back when we had a reasonable number of characters.
Yeah, she had a sexual awakening and is now okay with it. Like,
she's like, I've had my character growth, and now I want to be with my boyfriend.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
Don't shame.
Manga won't let me.
But yeah, so everyone's hot and horny, and they got to do something about it. They got to get this energy out. And Rentaro, who's also unfortunately hot and horny, jumps to sumo wrestling, which was a terrible idea, but it did work in Golden Kamuy.
Yeah. It's an ongoing theme, apparently.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad.
So it is a 1 verse 14.
Yeah, I was unprepared for this manga having a tournament arc.
Yeah.
I was also unprepared for the girls to finish this disgusting hot pot that they said was disgusting every step of the way, but they did. So
Yep.
It was made with love.
It's gross. It needed to stop like
I
5
don't think that's true.
foods ago.
It wasn't. No, it's not true.
I will say, I absolutely adore all the girls in otter costume.
Yes, that was very cute.
That was cute.
But the rules of this tournament are simple. It is Rentaro versus all of the girlfriends. If any part of your body other than your feet touches the ground or you slip outside the circle, you lose. We don't know any other rules. What do you expect from us?
Well, its hands touch the ground.
Yeah.
Because it's sumo rules, so.
Or the loser has to do whatever the winner says. So here's the thing, girls. If one of you can make him lose, you just have to say he can he has to do the do with all of us. Are we in agreement here, ladies? Yes.
I do like that they all agreed. It's good that they're getting along.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw all the lightweights at him first to wear him down, and then we'll get the heavyweight champions in at the end when he's weakened.
Yeah, I don't like how horny Rentaro defaults to she's so much like a baby multiple times. Yep, but hey, that's our main character. Let's get past those two.
Yep, so Shizuka and Chio are both defeated.
Shy Girl, who I constantly forget is a girlfriend.
Yeah. She gets too shy.
Oh, the teleporting one, yeah.
Jacob forgot who I was referring to.
Yeah, no, I also constantly forget she exists.
She teleports away, which makes Rentaro slip and touch the ground. So it's like, yay, we won! Except, no, she zipped out of the ring too fast. My favorite was Hikari, where she...
Yeah, that's the one where Hikari's like, wait, I won. This manga never lets me win because it's wholesome. Okay, Hikari. Given the panels that are going on right now, as you're saying it's wholesome.
Yeah, Hikari jumps out of all of her clothes immediately and mounts him. So she's like, wait a second. They wouldn't let this happen in the manga.
This manga wouldn't let me win. Because in her vision, she would press her boobs to him, and he's so turned on by the aphrodisiacs it knocks him out. Unfortunately, envisioning this knocks her out. And this is a dream.
Yeah, and don't worry, because Hikari's mom steps up next and she's like, my daughter doesn't know the true art of seduction. I will use my assets to seduce him fully and knock him unconscious. Oh, nope, I killed him and now he's standing up dead. I was too powerful.
don't worry. She gave him mouth to mouth after suffocating him in her tits.
I just love that this confirms that Rentaru canonically loves MILFs the most.
Yeah. Yeah, he told on himself at least 2 or 3 times.
See, the sort of funny thing here is like it feels like it's building to a joke because there's like a post-match cuddle after each of them, and like
they have a cuddle puddle afterwards. Yes.
Well, it seems to be escalating until it stops, and then it's just the same joke again. Like I feel like there should have been more done with this.
They should have just had some girls not want to wrestle. Like that would have been.
Yeah, that would have worked.
No, we have to do all of them.
We have to have 3 pages of each of them doing their joke. Like Kasuri comes up, she took a make my weight 100 times more drug. That backfires because every time she does something, it backfires. We get Hungry Girl, who she's had to wait too long in the match since she ate, so now she's hungry for panna cotta. And Rentaru is just like, "Yo, gonna trick this bitch. Hey, I brought you a snack for after dinner, but it's over there. You're gonna have to go eat it. It's cream filled, so it's basically panna cotta. I do love cream." And
Good
she
enough
leaves.
for me.
Yep.
Woo!
We get Girl, who I confuse with. Nope, this is American Girl. Here's the other problem. This is a slumber party, and they're all wearing pajamas.
So it's hard to tell them apart.
Half the girls.
Yeah, so Natty and Mimimi are basically identical because they're both tall blondes with long hair.
Yep, and unfortunately, Natty is very good at American-style wrestling and immediately pins him, but by the rules, that means she loses.
Yep, because arms behind the back.
Yep. Unfortunately, Mimimi lubed herself up way too good, so...
Oh my!
I'm so moisturized. I slept.
Yep. Which, yeah. And unfortunately, that left all the athletic girls left over. And Rentaru is getting tired.
Yep.
Also, I love that this chapter is a 2-parter, not because it needed to be, but because there were too many characters.
Yeah, it's almost as if there should be fewer of them or something. I don't know.
Jacob, you keep saying this. It's 100 girlfriends. There was never going to be fewer.
I know!
Yeah.
I am agreeing with the jokes about the premise being stupid.
So I will say my favorite joke is this one. Nano is so good at everything that she is ready to fully perfectly pin him. What she didn't account for was, goddamn, that clavicle is so hot.
Oh yeah.
And then she slips because somehow there was excess moisture on the field. We're not going to go into where that came from, but
oh my. Naughty.
Yeah, that's again, this is the more wholesome option for this manga, is Nano slipping on her juices.
I'm just saying though, girl, that clavicle, I understand.
I mean,
understand.
Yeah, but
May gets the power up by having Hahari
she gets
order her to
stat
win.
buff.
May is like the actual fight here because it's the whole
May should have been the last one.
Yeah.
I really like the way that
Rentaro
does this. Because it's like, Hahari told you to push me out, but you can't push me out if I jump out myself. So she grabs him from ring outing himself, which puts her off balance so he can scoop her up and just place her on the ground. I will now commit seppuku for failing Hahari-sama's order.
Cancel command! Mashing B as fast as possible.
I love Yamashiki's only because this is the least amount of a sumo match. This is just Rentaru climbing this giantess. He is climbing to the top of Mount Olympus, but he has stopped midway through.
A leaf falls on the mat, so she dodges it.
Leaves are alive. They're objectively not, girl. Which, to be fair, during the hot pot scene, she said chicken cutlets are alive, which is just...
That's the one. I knew there was a point where she said something was alive that was objective.
Yeah,
I thought she was saying... I thought, because it's only because she didn't react the same way to like the hamburger and the steak that I'm just like, oh, baby girl, no.
This has strong Scott Pilgrim energy of, what do you mean chicken parm ain't vegan?
Yeah, unfortunately.
She desperately dives out of the way of the leaf, which makes her hit the ground first. It's very cute.
Then the other actual fight is against Iku.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Iku is a masochist and knows what she's all about. So
Rentaro goes in for a slap attack. And she's like, a slap! I must present my ass for it. Wait a minute, no!
Yep.
This has made me vulnerable to the grab.
Yeah, then he just picks her up and rings her out, which is fun.
Yep.
And like always, we've got Karane here being the end boss because goddamn, this is manga like setting her up to be the girl, even though there are 13 other girls.
Yep.
Yeah, and like this is what I meant by like it feels kind of anticlimactic because this doesn't really build to a different joke. It feels like it's a step down from the previous two or previous three, really.
Yeah, frankly, they could have.
They could have rearranged this.
They really should have just cut Karane because she doesn't really have a dog in this fight.
And also, her joke is literally identical to another character's. Like the method of it is different, but
anyway, we forgot Rentaro's horny. So as winner of this contest, he gets to ask the girls for a thing, and he's just like, "I want hugs and kisses," and hugs and kisses all the girls. And it's this manga loves its kiss panels, and hot damn, this is all of them in one panel.
Yep.
And they're all just like, damn, that was some hot hugs and kisses. And Rentaro's is like, no, bitch, I won. I'm not done yet. We're going all night long.
We have only just begun. He has heart pupils as he's like, we have only just begun.
Oh no.
The girls are literally like glistening the next morning, which I don't want to think too.
You can interpret that any way you want. Technically, we never see any clothes removed, but you can interpret that any way you want.
They are all fully clothed when they fall asleep on top of Rentaro.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that Kasari's face is just an emoticon. Oh my god.
I wish all of her jokes were funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally like 30-70 at this point. But on that note, we finished our first tournament arc and hopefully the last, but we'll see. With that, we all need a break because my god, is this manga taxing? But don't worry, because spoiler alert, we got a new girlfriend when we come back, so that's probably going to be a whole thing. A whole bag, if you would.
Oh my.
We should get over talking about whatever I was talking about and its predecessor, vaginal heterosex.
What?
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on. That's being weird.
Where were we last? We left our heroes?
Shenanigans happened. There was a hot pot.
Yeah, the hot pot episode happened. And then
sure did.
Girls started groping each other and comparing their tits and all that stuff.
As women do.
Yep. So Rentaro is on the hunt for a mysterious masseuse that all of the sports teams says is the best masseuse around. She appears
all of the girls' sports teams.
Yeah.
Also, just want to point out that this is chapter 69.
Yep.
Oh, that's why.
So after the idol show and all the sumo wrestling, he's like, the girls could really use a massage. So I wonder how I'll ever find this masseuse. And then he walks in to see the tennis court filled with bodies.
They have a big dramatic turn with a setting sun in the background.
She just murdered all of them.
Worse.
I mean, in a manner of speaking.
She made them come so hard they lost their short-term memory.
Yet they have all flopped onto the ground and are quite gassed with delight.
That is the canonical explanation for this very wholesome manga.
Yep. So we get the Dadan, and we learn that yes, it is I, Momiji. This is how she talks.
Constantly.
Momiji. So you're the mysterious masseuse? My identity was never a secret. They just come so hard it short circuits their brains.
That makes sense. Yes, I hate it when that happens.
Anyway, let's get into the club room. All right, here, I'll take the legs, you carry the chest. Oh, wait a minute. When I said carry the chest, I didn't mean by her tits. What are you doing?
That's what you said. By the chest.
This is perfectly normal. There's nothing untoward.
Mommy, should we call the police?
No, I am simply enjoying...
I'm simply enjoying tactile sensations. Yes, that's
I just love this entire like backstory
She's autistic.
too.
She's literally neurodivergent and a minor.
Well, you say minor. She's a freshman. She's the same age as Rentaro.
Yeah.
So she's younger than these girls, for what that's worth.
But yes, she is obsessed with tactile sensations, really enjoys smooshing things. And you know what's really, really smooshy? Boobs. Tits even. Big bazongas. Danhangala hoogs.
She wants to touch Bob.
This is not an act of indecency. I, Momiji, am merely experiencing an act of sublime tactile sensation. There's nothing questionable happening here. Smushy, 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 smushy.
That is another name for sex, Momiji, yes.
So is the point of the massage? Yes, I knock them out with the massage and then I feel up their bodies. What is wrong with you?
You're the greatest villain mankind has ever known.
I'm simply trying to save them from stress and tense muscles that would harm their upbringing.
Okay, and why do they have to be unconscious for this to work? Like, what?
They're unconscious because they came so hard from how good the massage is. It's not her fault.
She's just that talented.
Yep.
They were consenting at the beginning. They just forgot.
Apparently she's become such a good masseuse that she can just take one look at somebody and see how tense their muscles are, which is why she looks at Rentaro and goes, "Damn, boy, what the hell happened to you? How are you not dead?" Well, I don't know. It's been pretty quiet lately. I mean, except for that time where I ran around to all the prefectures because the bus is too expensive and bike tires go flat too quickly, and I had to scout out date spots, and then I didn't sleep that whole week with the bid for the Idol show, and then there was the wrestling thing, and body is as hard as metal. Who are you, Astro Boy?
Yeah, we're just going to work out some of these knots, because if you keep this up, you would kill yourself.
Wow, I feel so great. Thank you. I must massage that incredibly rock-hard body again.
I love the existential crisis she has about, like, my God, I thought I knew who I was, but might I be bi? Hold on. Let me check my Nami booby pillow to make sure I'm still into girls.
She has a Nami booby mouse pad.
And she does this in class. And I'm just flashing back to high school. And I know this exact type of person.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Momiji's sex with women and relationships with men. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
What's gayer? Dating a girl or wanting a girl to have sex with your dead body?
What?
It's a class of 09 reference, yes.
Rentaro happens to be there, and it's like, I need that massage again. How did you do this? You said it took like 3 weeks of slice of life shenanigans. Whatever. I'm just gonna do it again. I yearn to massage him so much. How can he possibly be that rock solid again? It must take forever it happened again, 3rd day in a row. How are you doing this? Well, you see, I decided that the 4th wall isn't real.
It's even worse than that. He's just like, I needed the hardest job that's possible.
I loved this joke.
The artist that draws these shenanigans is clearly the hardest working person. I'm going to make her life easier because I love her.
I like how there's a bonus panel at the end, an alternate universe where I make Nozawa Sensei's job easier. And in all honesty, I'm not gonna lie, there's a part of me that wishes that actually did happen.
That'd be extremely funny. But yes, somehow Rentaro manages to go to Nozawa Sensei's house and ask to become her assistant. And she's like, oh god, the grind has finally gotten to me. I'm hallucinating. No, you haven't. I'm just... You know what? I'm not even going to bother explaining it. I'm just going to become your assistant.
Later on, yeah, I drew in that grass over.
I'm not going to make the Exalted joke. I'm not doing it. We're moving on.
Momiji is so taken that he would put himself through the hardest job in the world for her and just like, dang, as long as I can touch them muscles, boy, I'll be straight for you and only you.
That's commendable.
I mean, sure, girl, do your thing.
Yeah.
Also, welcome to my harem of incredibly squishy girls.
This isn't going to be as much of a sacrifice as I feared.
Yeah, because they are also down. Man, everyone's consenting. Everyone. There's plenty for everyone.
This is really my ideal scenario where I can be with mostly women, but have this one dude I'm into on the side.
Yeah, win.
Works out pretty well.
I did like the thank you card from all the girls, but you notice the girls are kind of drawn same face, and you're like, wait, what's going on here? And then the note at the bottom was, the writer realized it'd be really awkward to force the artist to draw a thank you card for herself, so he drew
it. So yeah, we get a few gags with Momiji going around and massaging everybody else. All the girls with big chests are just like, oh, such weight off my shoulders. It's incredible. I haven't felt this way in years. Mei-san gets belly rubs because dog.
You know she's not actually a dog, right?
No.
Close enough.
Iku doesn't know what to do with a massage because it makes her feel better and she hates that.
Mimimi gets I think it's a foot massage. It hurts, but it makes you more beautiful? Question mark?
It's a pressure point thing.
Yeah, it's a pressure point thing, but also no. Isn't Mimimi the one who's like basically all about like pain is beauty?
I don't think she's normally pain is beauty, because the joke then is that Iku is like, hey, I want the beauty hurts. Mm-hmm. You got rid of all of my achy muscles. I want the foot thing.
Yep.
Yes.
Yamashiki is too big. My hands are too teeny. I cannot massage all of her. I will proceed to now furiously headbutt her pelvis.
Also,
Pinky.
Momiji
motorboat.
Momiji is living the dream, getting smushed between Nano and Mimimi's thighs.
That's amazing.
The thighs.
The manga has something for everyone.
Truly, that is the perfect panel.
Oh. All of you should be ashamed.
I refuse.
I like that she also graded Karane, Iku, and Natty's asses.
Yep.
Just like, nothing can beat American freedom. Watch, the thigh and the ass is one continuous group here.
That's America's ass right there. America is open to everyone.
I mean, well, that's one way to refer to it.
And now for the main dish.
Karane. Oh yeah, I like during the massage, Karane has a release the Dare button.
Yep.
Yes, to release the Dare. And I was not surprising they had the tall girl as the tsundere. I just remember them saying something about bring out the tsundere or
yeah. You mean Hikari? Hikari was saying keep pressing that tsundere button.
Yeah. Spam it.
Now hold it.
I see what you mean. Hikari was the tall girl before they added the giant.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
I also
Yeah.
like how this ends when normally what we've been doing is when a new girlfriend is introduced, all girls are given kisses so they feel equally as valuable. But
So they look forward, they're conditioned to enjoy getting new girls. They're gonna get kissed again.
Yeah. And
That's so evil.
And Momiji's just like, yo, I spent this entire chapter massaging all you to make you feel good. This is mine. And then just climbs Rentaru like a tree.
Just starts kissing.
For hours.
For hours. Chafing boy. Oh, God.
Oh, wait, I missed this. They all got it. So he was stuck making sure they all get their dues.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Then we have certainly a chapter.
Oh, this
The
chapter.
best chapter.
It's the Natty and Chio chapter.
Natty decides she's a good teacher. No one else was consulted on this, but Natty definitely thinks she is.
Natty proceeds to speak only in America puns, and it lasts about a speech bubble and a half before I wanted to gouge my eyes out.
Well, that's just because you have bad taste, Jacob. This was amazing.
Obviously, Jacob, you don't speak American, so I know it was very challenging
that's a
for
problem.
you.
You're speaking some kind of foreign English language. We aren't in England. Go kneel to your king.
All right, this is also the smoking chapter.
I was about because Chio is the at-risk youth who is
literal baby.
She is brought to McDonald's and bullied by Natty for not making a giant mess out of her food like an American.
What are you, a baby?
What are you, baby? You gonna get a full large meal? I still have to eat dinner with my dad. Stop being a pussy. What? What a mean thing to say to me.
Pussy. Call a 13-year-old girl a pussy.
That's what we say in America. But yeah, Chio is a class representative because she is way too responsible. And there are two girls who are smoking in the park with shark teeth as if they are villains out of like Panty and Stocking almost. But don't worry. Nadi's decided she's going to handle this the American way by assaulting children.
Woohoo!
That sounds about right.
It's okay, they're delinquents.
Yep.
But yeah, the reason I bring that up is because there's an absolutely spectacular speech bubble. A box of cigs is not only cheaper than a copy of 100 Girlfriends, it's also less toxic too.
Yep.
Boom!
This manga knows what it's about.
Yes. Thank you. It makes me appreciate it just that little bit more.
Yeah, and
the nose is hot garbage.
Because Chio is crying, Natty comes in, giddy-upping on our hobby horse. What do they call those?
It's one of those little horse things on the spring.
Yeah, and she's really going for it.
She threatens to hog tie and beat the shit out of both of these children because again, these are middle school girls, and
that's how they do it in America.
And Natty is an adult. She is a student teacher, so she is.
I thought she was a full. Actually, we thought she was a student teacher, but she's like a fully fledged teacher.
I think
it's
she's
the
like
other way
18
around.
Is the problem.
Yeah,
she's like 19 maybe. She's like barely. She couldn't have graduated college, so. But I guess she's doing like English as a I don't know how this works.
She was like their English teacher or something, and I don't know how long, like how deep her deception went, but she apparently convinced someone that she was like from America.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter because she's going to beat the shit out of these children before Chio interrupts her and goes like, "You can't do that. What the hell?" And then Natty's just like, "Well, don't worry. I'll hunt you girls down and find where you live and rip those cigarettes off of your corpses." And the girls are like, "Fine, we'll quit smoking until college when it's cool to smoke."
My favorite part of this chapter, lurking in the shadows, Rentaro, the cool DJ who is coming here to rap about how cigarettes are bad, yo. Jesus is the only way.
He's got strong youth pastor energy. He's gonna rap to these kids about treating their bodies like a temple.
Sig stunt growth written on the flag strapped to his back. On his shirt, mouths are for noodles. His hat says 20 because that's the age you gotta be to buy cigarettes in Japan.
I'm glad we could see all of his shirt because if we just saw the first 3 words of that, not what the last one was, it might be a bit concerning.
They're for noodles.
I wouldn't have liked this chapter as much if we then didn't get the culmination here, where they're still at the park playing for some reason.
Well, they have to go on the Arrested Development swings.
I was just gonna say that you can't put people on swings at anything anymore. It isn't that, but I see the swings and I'm like, what are they doing on the Arrested Development metaphor? No, it's swings.
Yep.
This isn't being that. Stop it.
Yeah, they're talking about how it's okay to be what you want, blah, blah, blah. It barely connects with these two characters, but they try. And it doesn't matter because midway through this emotional break, the police show up and say, hey, we got a report that a woman in a cowboy hat attacked some middle school girls here. What the fuck is up with that? And she's just like, don't worry, I'll handle these lawmen. And then as she's getting chastised through the police, immediately drops the act, goes, yes, I'm Japanese. Yes, I'm 24. Oh, she says her age right here. Jeez,
yeah.
She's, yep.
Yep, my name is Yamato Nadeshiko. I'm 24 years old. Of course you're right.
Which is great because she had just been telling Chio that she needs to live her truth and be true to herself, but she immediately drops that the second she has consequences for her action. Oh, but then Chio comes and is like, hey, is this a voluntary interview? Yeah, you don't gotta tell cops shit. Let's go.
Run! Go, Miss Nutty, go! So are we gonna chase them or no? I really don't want to do.
Yeah, we're not gonna believe victims in Japan.
They also said something about a DJ watching them from the bushes. We're just gonna go home.
I'm amazed these girls called the police because we then cut to the next day and it turns out they were only pretending to smoke cigarettes because they thought it was really cool when Chio would try and badmouth them, and now they want to be just like her.
I mean, positive enforcement.
Sure, let's call it that.
Let's call it that.
Sure, why not?
Good role model. Yeah.
I also like that when they describe their fake cigarettes, they're describing vapes.
Yeah.
But these were toy cigarettes that are just vapes. Oh, I completely forgot this chapter happened. They shrink Nano down.
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
You get that starts. Doesn't that kick off the whole like fairy tale story arc? Because she's Thumbelina.
Nope, that's just at the end of a chapter or at the end of a volume. Bunch of bonuses.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, no, that was a fun set of bonuses, but that is not what this chapter is about. They just shrink Nano.
Now she's Nano-sized.
I guess that must be why.
It's cute.
Cute.
It sure did happen.
Yeah, there's not a lot to talk about.
There's not a lot to talk about in this manga. It just kind of rips right through. It's like, yep.
But yeah, she wakes up naked in Rentaro's bed, full sized, and yeah, it's a fun chapter. There's just nothing to talk about.
Yeah, that's kind of the unfortunate thing with 100 Girlfriends, isn't it? Unless we're complaining about how stupid it is, there isn't really a lot to say.
Speaking of complaining about how stupid it is, they get interviewed by a love.
Oh God, this nonsense
interview, and it's just like, oh man, we found 14 girls with boyfriends all at once. Perfect. We need nice, relatable romance stories. And then they proceed to say what the last thing their boyfriend did for them that was romantic, and then proceed to say just horrifying stories of self-sacrifice that shouldn't be charming in any way and aren't.
Yes, the chapter proving that Aija Rentaro is not built differently, he's built incorrectly.
Oh, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I skimmed a lot of this.
I did like Shy Girl's whole thing where she's just like, yes, my bra popped a button and he held it closed the entire day. It's like, why didn't he just use a safety pin?
We tried.
They kept breaking.
Popped every single safety pin. They are a force of nature that I cannot control. That it's questionable that can go to air.
Yeah. My favorite was Me, where it's like, well, this one time we were having tea, and I was about to drop my cup, and the tea was going to spill all over my designer clothes. Oh, so he pulled you out of the way? No, he sucked all the tea out of the air through a straw mid-fall, protecting me. It was really hot. The tea, right? No.
Mamiji's pretty good. She gave Rentaro so many forearm workouts. She looked like pre-time skip. He looked like pre-time skip Frankie.
Fair.
What is wrong with boys these days? Just one boy, and there's a lot.
And like the entire gimmick at the end is just that he dressed up like Frieza for no reason.
No reason.
You don't need a reason to dress up as Lord Frieza.
He's doing the pose and everything.
Yep. And it's
I
great.
think you guys are just haters.
Awesome. I'm a deck you in the schnoz.
This interviewer is so run ragged by the fact that this entire episode is just worthless interviews. And then there's a great throwaway line where she's just like, unfortunately, the show's entire gimmick is that we put every single interview on the air. And I'm just like, a terrible gimmick for your show. But they need
There's a lot of reasons, why that's a bad idea.
They need one interview to salvage it, but don't worry. We found this guy who happens to have a girlfriend. Could you tell us anything about her? Unfortunately, it's Rentaro, and he describes his girlfriends as one singular woman, which is weird. And this must be just like a translation thing, because that's not an answer to the question.
Yeah.
Actually, that was something I noticed in a couple of places. There were a whole bunch of there was at least one joke where I'm like, I'm pretty sure I know how that's supposed to work in Japanese because of the context. I don't remember what joke it was, and it doesn't really matter. But there were a lot of, like, this is a good translation because there were a lot of jokes that only work in English. Like, the localizers made a point of like finding places to make wordplay work.
You gotta do that with comedy is the problem.
Like, like, because it's a comedy, they have to make, because like so much of this is wordplay, they have to do that sort of thing, and it's honestly more effort than the manga series deserves.
But yeah, they end up having to scrap the broadcast because Rentaro was a terrible. Oh nope, they show it. They show it in the full.
They show it.
They showed it, and Twitter went on a rampage.
Yep, monster boyfriend.
Finally.
The people understand.
Well, to be fair, that means in universe, Rentaro's situation is not normal, which is great.
That's very obvious.
Because we get the second time Rentaro has to meet the parents in this one. And, whew, man, Dad is not happy about the fact he is dating 15 women.
Yep. So, which parents are we meeting, Matt?
Oh, we got to go to Kasari's house because the person who is dating your 8-year-old daughter is really the...
Okay, she's not actually 8, but it is creepy that she takes the body of an 8-year-old. Okay,
it's creepy that she doesn't need to be in the 8-year-old body.
Yeah, she just likes
she could
it.
She could just choose to be her older self.
Yeah, that's its own.
I did like the bait and switch at the beginning where Rentaro's like, "Oh God, wait, her mother? No, please don't have it be another Hahara situation. I can't do that.
We can't
do this." Okay, nothing happened. Whew. Why do you look exactly? Wait, why are you the same height as Kursuri? Oh, it's because I'm also taking the immortality drug that reverted me to the age of an 8-year-old.
Oh,
why?
Because I want to live forever. That's a really good answer. Like,
you know what? That's fair.
So this is the guy who thinks he can have Kasuri and 14 other girls. You think you're tough, punk? Who's your little brother? Oh, this is Papa. Don't tell me.
I'm the dad.
I'm the mom. Kasuri is Kusuri.
So this house is 3 8-year-olds living together.
Do they have any, were there any neighboring houses? Someone has to see all these 8-year-olds and be like, where is your parent?
Oh yeah, no, they're just on a residential street. So tell me this, punk. Is Kusuri the most important girl in the world? Yes. Then what about the other 14? They're also the most important girls in the world. Are you messing with me?
Yeah, he not prepared for that.
No.
Mom is way too nice about this situation, honestly.
Mom just accepts it. She has no questions.
Well, obviously it follows in the family too.
It's really unfortunate that this chapter is where we get like officially confirmed that Kasuri's mental facilities are diminished because of her drug, which really doesn't think like her parents should be trusting her judgment. Like,
you're supposed to be the parents. Well, then also their mentalities might be harmed by all the drugs.
They're explicitly not. They
it's-
confirm that for some reason.
This is so weird.
Yeah.
It's a choice made.
They didn't need to make this choice.
Yeah, it is a choice that was made.
We think it's because Kasuri took it and reverted back to this state before her brain fully matured that this happened. And you're continuing to let it happen? You're continuing to let her use this stuff? Anyway, this is our huge vat of reversing medicine that we're constantly producing because, well, you know how things go around here.
This brings up many questions.
Yes, many questions.
So you're all chemist weirdos then? Yes, we are.
It comes in the family, I guess.
Ah, we're having seizures!
Yeah, because they were poisoned, and an assassin is here, and the assassin holds a gun, and there's a whole back and forth about, don't shoot me, shoot me. What? You're the hostage. Why are you jumping in front of them? That doesn't make any sense. I actually kind of want to be taken kidnapped, because it sounds really fun to make a bunch of drugs for the mafia. But Kasura, your drugs should only be used for fun and games. That's really your desire, Rentaro. That's not at all mine.
I get lots of money.
I want to make mad stacks of money.
Well, I'm just gonna shoot the boy anyway. Try it. Try it, asshole. You'll take me out first.
Also, I'm gonna make out with this 8-year-old. For like a long time.
Yep.
And thankfully, the assassin has the right reaction. It's just, what are you doing?
Someone has to be the rational adult, other than, I guess, somewhat the dad.
Listen, I've got a gun here. Pew pew. People die when they're killed. Yeah, even toddlers know that.
Okay.
Shut up, Kusuri. Shut up.
But anyway, he fires a shot and it shoots the reversing medicine, and the reversing medicine splashes on Papa. And it turns out that Papa's been doing some other drug experiments because he is roided out. He is a Garuden or a Kagure Bash. Oh, what's the?
He's an Ippo character.
Yeah, he's an Ippo character. Well, no, he's a step beyond. I'm saying he's like Garuden is the one. Baki, there we go.
Yeah.
He is a Baki character. Like, he is muscle groups that do not exist.
He is also bulletproof because of them. Like, the secret agent is firing away, and they're just pinging off of his packs.
Mm-hmm.
Glorious.
And man, bulked out dad is more impressed that Rentaro planned for the bullet to go past him and unblock the antidote and save his life, that he's just like, I'm completely fine with you viciously making out with my daughter in front of me. And not just my daughter, the 8-year-old body of my daughter, which we really need to hammer in how weird of a choice that was.
And also the 15 other girls.
I'm more concerned about what you're doing within my eyesight at this moment.
Anyway, I'm gonna Team Rocket this secret agent.
Well, he murders him. He murders this man.
Mama, did Papa just kill someone? No, he just went to a farm upstate.
I love the look of just like tiredness and just like I can't keep lying to her.
On Mama Kasuri's face.
Yep, he's fine. Papa didn't get into a roid rage and murder someone. Rentaro just being like, I'm really glad he was an 8-year-old when we first met, because I feel like he would have killed me.
So
also, man, I'm just saying it right now. Kasuri's dad, he is caked up.
He is. He's caked up. He's got oh my god, you could grind meat on those. Pecs for days.
I'm just saying, I can see why Kasuri's mom stays with him.
Mm-hmm.
Love of his life, because damn.
Like lightning when their eyes first met. You know that feeling, Rentaro? Asks a third character entering the room.
And then we get the dun-dun, and we're like, Wait, no. What is it because the mom turned back into an adult? No.
No.
No, it's not.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
But you were right, Sam, because we get introduced to Kasuri's 89-year-old grandmother, who...
Not like this. Never like this. I am the DJ Khaled suffering from success meme.
Cowards.
They're such cowards, because here's the thing. The 89-year-old grandmother, it took the immortality drug, so she is an 8-year-old, and also she took the perfect version of it, so she cannot go back to her regular body. And more importantly, they do not establish whose mother she is.
Oh.
Because I really wanted it to be her Kasuri's dad's mom.
Well, no, wait, because she's got the family name, and she's old-fashioned, so she would have taken the husband's name. So yeah, she's the mother of the dad.
Yep. Well, too bad the dad does not appear for the rest of this.
Dad is my favorite character. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, he just leaves.
We also see mom leaving with a smile, so she probably is like, I should go distract him.
Oh God, I don't even want to think about that.
No. Mom's just like, we're both in our adult bodies for a bit. I know what we're doing.
But like the thing that pisses me off so much is like, because you can see in the chapter titles that this is where they're going with it. This is how we're getting the gilf. And I'm like, oh, she's going to have taken a de-aging drug so that she's not like old. They don't even like, she's not even like an adult with laugh line. Like, they're such fucking cowards about this. It's pathetic.
They are such cowards. And also a little weird that out of all the things they could have done in the world, they decided to add another 8-year-old to the cast.
They added another lolly.
You know, you can always use more lollies.
No.
We have enough.
No, we need more.
No.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
My day is ruined.
I was willing to accept Kasuri until we got confirmed that she has the mentality of a child in this chapter for some reason.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
I love it here. I don't know what's wrong with y'all.
So anyway,
I will say one thing that is done well with this, and quite frankly, this is all the more reason I wish that they didn't make this choice. They do actually have Yuka is the grandma's name. They do actually have her like distinctly be a like mature and experienced woman. Like
no, it's not Yuka, it's Yaku.
Or Yaku, whatever.
Yaku.
It's just the word for medicine.
Mm-hmm.
But like she does actually come off as being like not necessarily 89. Most of the 89 is like the gimmick of, oh, I don't understand this newfangled technology. But like she does actually come off as more mature.
She goes on the like walking date with Rentaro and talks about how hot her husband was in the military. And just like, yeah, no, women got to have their secrets. And then it's like through this entire date, she's just with him. Like she's just like,
yeah,
she's just screwing around with him, and it's really fun.
And she's just like, hey, did you think I was a high school girl who's gonna get like rushed up in this? I was married and had children. Like you gotta. I have a different romance game here.
In fact, you're my romance game. I'm having fun.
I love how he's just like, yo, girl, can I get your digits? I have no idea what this or any of your attempts to explain it mean.
I really like Kasuri's brazenness, where it's like, how about Grandma joins Rentaro family? Grandpa's dead anyway.
Conveniently, because man. Yeah. I'm waiting for the girl who's already in a relationship to pop up.
Yeah. 100% someone's getting cut.
Oh God, there's gonna be a cock. God damn it.
Oh my God. And yes, the guy has to just watch from the sidelines and he's into it.
Yeah.
Oh, and the girlfriend is also into it.
No.
What, you think they're gonna bring an exhibitionist into this?
No,
Rentaro's gonna be
her ex-boyfriend is going to be constantly watching through binoculars, but she's still in love with him, kind of, but she's not his true love. So she's just like constantly, oh man. Gotta stop giving away these ideas for free.
Yeah. So Granny agrees to give him a chance to woo her.
Yeah. Well, kind of. She goes just like, yeah.
She's still toying with him.
She's basically like, you can try, kid, but like, I'm 89. I'm not looking for dick appointments. Also, what's this whole twink facade you got going on? And
I tried to be a bad boy. It didn't work.
I'm gonna put on leather pants and I'm gonna go to the Rebel Park at night and I'm gonna play on the seesaw.
Okay.
Also, I'm gonna say be my girl and I'm gonna forcibly kiss you, but I can't do that because I love consent too much. And then Granny locks lips because she's like, "Damn, boy,
you're weird.
You actually kind of impressed me."
What was all about that whole thing you just did was insane and stupid, but I got to admire that you even attempted. Also, I'm just going to let you know, I spent a good chunk of my life with a bad boy, and damn, that was hot, but I'm looking for some twink right now, and you might fit that bill.
Oh.
So we have to have the chapter where we introduce her to the rest of the girls.
We do, but I just want to point out, there's a really weird blowjob angle with Granny. And I don't know what's up with that.
That's immediately like, she's just like, look, let's cut to the chase, boy. I'm going to treat you like a man.
I'm going to treat you like a man, and I want you to know one thing. If you ever think you know what I'm thinking, you don't. You don't understand the fickle whims of a lady's heart. As she's just like gripping his waistband and looking at him with come hither hurt eyes. Just like,
get it, Granny. Get
it. Which is funny because it actually has some of the most personality of any of the characters in a long time in this manga.
Yeah.
In service of this.
Granny is just like, no, I'm interested in an adult relationship, and I know that involves blowjobs. And Kasuri's very fine with sharing her boyfriend with her grandma, which really, I guess we're just bypassing any character drama.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is the premise of the series, which is why it's so dumb. I guess, given that panel, Throat Goat Nano has some competition.
I mean, yeah. Oh, God. So, I'm going to say this right now. This chapter had a really stupid gimmick, and I did not enjoy reading it.
Yeah. The gimmick is that Granny can't remember names.
And it's just an excuse to draw all the girls with different personalities.
Yep.
The
one good panel out of this is Hahari hearing the age gap and going, "This sounds morally questionable."
What do you mean?
Wow.
I was about to say the best, like the one good thing that came out of this was America Boo Hikari, who was a huge fan of America's sexual revolution, and this is the body of a California girl. Like, but yeah, nothing happens in here. Is the thing.
Yeah,
we do get my other favorite joke where it's like, all right, now I know all of your names. What's my name? Oh, we only heard it the once at the start, and Kasuri just calls you Grandma, but it's a 4-letter name that has something to do with drugs. 4-letter name, drugs. All right, yeah, you're Yakuzen.
Meth-san.
Can I have some? Because then maybe I could follow what's going.
Well, if you didn't follow this, you don't stand a good chance for the next chapter because they really just back to back the like. Let's just do a stupid premise. This chapter is literally the girls win an all expense paid trip to a hot tub place.
Well, no, it's
I think it's Hahari's company.
No, it's Iku's family.
Oh,
distant relatives of Iku's that have let them in for a early access pre-open exclusive
for an extreme hot spring bath thing.
The hardcore hot spring.
My God, I didn't even notice the like one line that explains that this is like a hot spring. I thought this was a pool because they're all in bathing suits, but no, they just made a special exception to let Rentar into the girls' side as long as everyone wore bathing suits.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it's just a bunch of disconnected jokes.
Yeah, it's just dumb gimmicks because they keep going to like, what if we go to the bath that gives you giant boobs? Or what if we go to the bath that's hardcore? Or what if we go to the like soap land? Well, nope, soap land means something else.
The hardcore soap suds up so much it separated everybody into Gimmickville.
What if we go to the beach that makes you old?
Well, it's not the beach that makes you old. It might be the rocks or something.
Listen, man, I just went to the beach and I got old.
Look at me, I'm old as shit.
Riveting conversation.
Man, I went to the beach. I got old.
Wow. Fascinating.
Fun backstory for this year's No Read November. That was what we were doing to keep ourselves sane in between.
Yeah.
Sam considers like, no, this is probably getting cut.
No, we're leaving it in because this chapter fucking sucked.
We could just cut this chapter is the problem.
No. Exactly. This joke is better than anything that happened, so we have to keep it.
Yeah. Rentaro wasn't on screen because he was rescuing the children the entire time, and then the joke ends with them going into a regular jacuzzi that's like a super heaven jacuzzi, except it kills them and sends them to heaven. But don't worry, someone's Oh, I just realized that's Haruhi's boy toy who died.
Oh yeah. It is technically Hikari's dad.
Father.
Yeah. It's blocking the gates of heaven to keep them from going in. And I'm just like, I knew that must be a main character because he was too detailed, but I couldn't remember
who he was.
But yeah, that's
yeah, interesting.
That chapter sure does happen.
Yep. And then this other chapter sure does happen where all the girls are different fairy tale characters, except because they're all awful and like self-absorbed, they all die in their fairy tales, except at the end Rentaro is their prince in shining armor and all of them and saves them all, and it's happily ever after.
Yep.
We also get the very unnecessary backstory that Momiji loves squishy things because she ran into Hikari and her mom at a bounce house, and Hikari, as a kindergartner, had a very squishy ass. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Yeah,
choices were made.
They could have just said Haruhi is the thing. Like that would have been fine.
There was no reason to add.
I'm gonna file this mangaka away, as I know he's like riding the gravy train right now, but some of the stuff that comes out, I'm just like, huh?
It's concerning.
Yeah. Where are these ideas coming from?
I mean, to be fair, the artist is also drawing it.
Yes.
There are multiple people we're concerned about.
Yes.
So anyway, here is the chapter so sweet and wholesome that Sam couldn't bear to read it.
I literally accidentally skipped this chapter, and it was only in the creation of the outline that I realized I did and speed read it.
Giantess and Hikari decide they need to unlock their womanly wiles to seduce Rentaro. Because
Yamame is too big and sweet and innocent.
She's feeling insecure.
Yep. So Hikari's like, I will help you utilize those big assets of yours. Come on, we're going to do a sexy swimsuit shoot.
What is this? This is the photo studio we have to make pinup calendars for Rentaro. Does he like pinup calendars? I force him to accept them.
And also, one of Yamame's squirrels is better at doing poses.
Yeah, I don't like the B story of this chapter, where this lady squirrel is so good at being a pinup model that she has several sexy squirrel pictures taken by me.
Mado,
yeah.
Mado, that's right.
Yep.
There's too many M names that are almost the same.
But yeah, no.
I'd argue there's too many names in general.
Yamame just ends up doing like silly and cute poses. So it's like, no, we need to try something different. We're gonna go for the seduction angle. I'm gonna teach you how to show cleavage.
And it only ends up summoning Momiji.
Yeah, because she's also doing the thing where she's just like, "Ooh, I'm so tired," and she's like trying to do like
So
sexy
hot.
requests for attention, but she's doing it too earnestly that Rentaro is just genuinely like, "Oh, don't worry, I've got all of these things that can cure your problem."
Do you need water, juice, maybe an apple? I could get you a leak. Do you need a thermometer? Do you have a fever? Damn it, he's more concerned than aroused. His kindness and consideration for his girlfriends is working against us.
But don't worry, Hikari sees that her friend is in trouble with her seduction angle. She's just like, I know, I've got to save this. I'm going to pop my top button so that I can show Rentaro the goods. Unfortunately, that was a load-bearing button. And as such, her entire shirt disintegrates.
My favorite reaction to this is Natty looking on completely stone-faced going, "True freedom makes you want to cry," as one of the buttons ricochets off her 10-gallon.
Yep. And Yamashiki, I think is her name. The giantess.
tall girl, yeah.
Decides, I know how I can solve this. I'm going to show him my cooter. I don't know why she did this.
I don't know either.
I'm also very confused why the manga censored her underpants. I thought the gimmick was going to be she didn't realize she wasn't wearing any, but she was. But they censored it for some reason.
Because they had to put the sexy squirrel back in. That's very important.
I guess, but I'm just confused because they've shown more than that. Like, I don't know. Anyway, that knocks Rentaro into a wall, and the building's about to disintegrate because his heartbeat is going so fast. It's basically a seismic wave.
Call a doctor.
So the two girls smush boobs against each other, as all women do. And that utterly destroys Rentaro, and then we get the conclusion to the B plot where Mado is very happy with how hot this squirrel looks, and I'm very uncomfortable with how hot the squirrel looks. And I want to know if Rentaro saw the squirrel, because I'm waiting for the animal girlfriend.
The squirrel is gonna be girlfriend.
Oh my god.
Mado is a furry, I guess.
Yeah, she was really into it. So we get a surprisingly sad chapter where Hahari is getting her wish to be dressed up like a high schooler, because I completely forgot what chapter this references, but apparently she wished she was a high schooler.
It was Natty's like join the harem chapter where she's like, you should all dress up as your ideal selves. And
okay, I believe it happens. I just don't remember Hahari's part in particular, probably because there was 10 girls. I like that they're going to go on a high schooler date, but Rentaro also says, because I needed to adjust for the age gap, I also have an outfit of me as an elementary schooler, and
I hated that panel.
I like the fact that Hahari's like, no, we're not.
Hahari's just like, we're going to hold on to that for later, but not now. This is a different type of age play. We'll have more age play later, because that's Hahari's whole jam.
I don't like it.
So anyway, Hahari's self-conscious because there was a group of guys in the hallway complaining about how his manager was hitting on him. And she's like, ew, she's like old and has kids. Gross. We all hate it when adult women hit on us teenagers, right? And we're supposed to feel bad for Hahari? I guess so.
Yes.
Yeah, because the weird thing is this this chapter takes her lost childhood seriously.
No, which what the actual emotion they're going for is Hahari feels self-conscious about her age and realizes she had to grow up and is now at a point where she no longer can be a child. Like, that is gone from her. The problem is the complaint is specifically about this guy getting harassed by his adult manager at his job. And that makes Hahari sad. And I'm like, I think he's really worse off here. Like, but yeah. So they go on a date. Some high school girls come by, and because this manga can have like no consequences, she thinks, oh, they're gonna make fun of me because I look so old and ugly. And they're like, God damn, that girl is hot. I hope we're as hot when we're seniors.
Well, I mean, the entire premise of this manga is everyone wins. So
that, you know what? You got a good point. So they go to the museum of the childhood show that was Haru's favorite when she was a little girl. The fact that your childhood favorite show has now become a museum should make you feel a little old, but anyway, we get some really disturbing lore, which is that Baby Teddy Bear is the name of the show, and she loved her baby Teddy so much when she was a little girl, and by little girl I mean kindergartner. She would never let it leave her side. She would sleep with it in bed, and
she'd give it little kisses,
and every night she'd practice French kissing on it, and would. Oh, I see. That's her mom saying, "Not again, stop that." I thought she was making the voice of the bear.
No, it's her mom that was stopping her.
Yeah. I love how the mom's the villain in this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just that.
Yeah. Yep. But anyway, it's all about her like loving this bear and realizing this was the last time I got to be a child which is weird because she had the baby of her own choice. They really bypassed any conflict here, so
yeah,
it's weird. I don't know.
They ninja dodged the actual like consequences and serious character drama earlier, because like there is a way that you could potentially turn this into a more serious, more dramatic, more emotional story, but the entire premise of this manga is to ninja dodge all consequences of everything ever.
And so at the end of the tour, they go to the trivia challenge.
I don't want to talk about the trivia challenge, particularly not the last question.
The entire trivia challenge is literally it's a gimmick to sell Blu-rays of the series because the questions are so hyper specific, no one could possibly know it off the back, but you're allowed to take the quiz as many times as you want.
But we will cycle out the questions, so you need to make sure that you read everything or rewatch everything. Oh, and the prize is a premium life-size teddy baby that is museum exclusive, not for sale.
Anyway, the whole joke is that Rentaro did his research and memorized the Blu-rays before. Like there are questions like how many polka dots are on the hairbrush that was given as a gift. Like insane questions that no one would possibly know the answer to.
It's not trivia. It's designed for you to get it wrong.
Yeah, it's entirely to sell Blu-rays. But the last question is, what is the real reason that baby Teddy didn't open his mouth? And Haruhi knows that it's just like, oh yeah, well, because they switched models out because they made it so that the mouth wasn't open and they closed it. But why would they do that? Someone must have put in a private complaint. And then Rentaro was just like, yeah, I bet it was the CEO of the sponsor company was complaining that her daughter was tongue kissing the teddy bear.
And apparently that's the correct goddamn answer.
And Haruhi is so impressed with Rentaro and not horrified that her actions caused an entire
recall.
And like it's her in the back, and there's like a nice little garden on the exit, and it's just her hugging the bear and going like, Rentaro, if we leave, I have to go back to being Haruhi-san. And like I don't, because I love this. I wish I had been born your age so that we could have been the same age, because I know that's a whole hang up for you. And he's just like, what the fuck don't you get? I love each and every one of you as individuals and don't demand you change anything. I have none of my own wants or needs. I specifically just implicitly love what you are. I have to, otherwise you fucking die.
He leaves that part out. Part of me wonders if the manga remembers that.
I don't think it does.
I also love that when she's saying like, I wish we'd been the same age. And he's just like, if you wished for us to be the same age, I would have wished to be younger than you. And I'm like, what a up thing to say. Like,
yeah.
There's a lot wrong with this.
Like the sentiment is I wouldn't change a thing, but the way it's phrased is just
makes it worse. Yes.
It makes it worse.
Anyway, she buys a gift for her daughter because she's a good mom. And this turns on Rentaro so much they make out behind a bear.
There are so many quotation marks on that sentence. Nothing that Matt said was incorrect, but
anyway, they go hiking next.
This is basically the bath chapter again,
but in nature this time.
they try and set up some character moments. The problem is what they set up is really just Kasari carrying Chio, and we know that Chio sees like full-grown Kasari as her mom. That doesn't really get elaborated on anymore, but I just want to bring it up because it's the 2 fucking panels we get of like good Kasari in this. Actually, you know what? I will congratulate this manga. We got more panels of good Kasari than we got panels of Kasari talking about wetting herself. Unfortunately, that was in a panel of all the other girls talking about wetting themselves.
So I don't know how much it counts.
That being said, I will say I did laugh at one of those jokes, which was Natty is so free that she has no stress at all, and she doesn't even hold her pee in while she's watching TV. And then the onomatopoeia was just piss. And I'm like, damn it, manga, you got me. That was actually kind of funny. She's such a fucking lazy American. She just pisses herself during the commercial break. That doesn't feel fetishy. That just feels like a good joke.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is done to get characters in pairs so that they can have character interactions. But the problem is, they're all cardboard cutouts. Honestly, the really frustrating thing is when they're initially introduced, especially the earliest ones, they aren't cardboard cutouts. They actually started off as real people. It's just the nature of the premise of this thing means that all of these characters devolve into cardboard cutouts a chapter after they're introduced.
Yeah.
So
if I had to pick one, I'd say Natty and Grandma probably have the most like genuine of an interaction, because it's Natty realizing Grandma doesn't understand all of her America-booisms and starts speaking like formal Japanese as she would to her family, and Granny's just finally like, yo, shut up. Even if I don't understand you, you got to be yourself. I don't want to hang out with whoever this fake person is.
Boom. Grandma is like the most based character, and I love her so much.
And actually, she also manages to retain most of her she comes off as the oldest in the group in a positive way. I do also to some degree like Iku and Yameme, because more so for Yameme because she, again, it's a matter of her retaining her personality traits and actually, having one and being more than just a baseline gimmick.
I like how after we have all these characters interact, we get Rentaro carrying the 3 One-sans because they would have no story out in the wilderness.
And really just to prove that it is exactly the same as the Hot Spring chapter.
Because it's the same punchline as the Hot Spring chapter. It's literally identical.
Yep. Anyway, the last chapter, the end is great because they're like, well, if we were hoping for it not to rain, what if we say we're going to make out until the sun comes up? Then, because this is a wholesome manga, the sun will come up immediately. They then proceeded to make out after the sun came up. And then the water demon from Princess Mononoke shows up.
That's just the last panel. It's just kind of there.
It's just a reference.
So we open up the next chapter with with Rentaro doing scalping behavior.
Well, he's trying to buy a limited edition pin, one for each of his girlfriends. You don't have 15 girlfriends. That makes no sense. You're clearly going to resell these.
No. You're right. I don't have 15 girlfriends. I have 16.
Well, a completely reasonable reaction to this is me holding you at knife point.
And then a character showed up where the second I looked at her, I said, Jake's favorite.
No, a character showed up, and my immediate reaction is, God, I'm going to be disappointed by you.
They're going to ruin her some way, and man, do they.
Man, do they! God damn! My disappointment is immeasurable, and this character archetype is one of my favorites! Why did you have to ruin her so badly?
So in a sense, we're both right.
I even had hope initially with where they were going with her, and then
because
they doubled down.
Because initially, if this was a different manga and she had to have some kind of negative gimmick, I figured it was going to be her speech pattern. But I knew that this manga is not gonna do that. There's gonna be something seriously gimmicky, stupid wrong with her.
Well, we start off with like Rentaro's just like, oh, this is one of my girlfriends. Well, better take her out to lunch as like thanks for saving me.
She's Ponytail Samurai. Yeah, like
yeah, and she beat the crap out of all the guys trying to mug him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like she starts saying a sad thing about like, yeah, I've got a lot of younger siblings and I'm kind of like beholden to take care of them. It's a lot. And he kind of reaches out to like pat her on the head. Oh no, he's like trying to adjust
some
her
lint
hair.
out of her hair. Yeah.
Yeah. And she knocks his hand away and I'm like, "Oh, is her gimmick that she's like not cool with physical touch because she's like such a cool samurai?"
No, or she's going to be stereotypical of I just have difficulty trusting people.
Fear of intimacy, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like,
that would be fine. This would probably be my favorite character were that the case.
Yeah.
You get a strange few panels of what appears to be her under the bridge, getting her hair stroked by an unseen person, and her going, "Daddy."
Yeah, I was about to say, I was expecting the lead up to be that she's got an abusive boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, anything but whatever the heck we stumble upon. I'm still not quite sure what that was.
Well, this manga was never going to do anything like with actual emotional stakes, so I didn't think it was that bad, but I was expecting her to have to break up with her boyfriend for him. And nope. Yeah, but they do set it up as if that is going to be the thing.
Rentaro follows her to Kendo Club and is observing her technique. He sees her slip and he goes to like catch her so she doesn't fall, and she knocks him away and storms out of there. And the girls are like, yeah, the captain, she's really cool and really talented, but you know, sometimes she hits her limits and just kind of storms off like that. She comes back eventually, but she never tells us what's wrong.
Well, I, being Ijo Rentaro, no consequence this up.
Know exactly where she goes when she's not feeling good. We find her being consoled with a voice that's saying, "It's okay, everyone makes mistakes, it's not your fault, mommy." And we see a hand stroking her hair as her face is bent down off screen. And I'm like, I'm not sure what's going on here. And then flip the page. It's her crouching down or squatting in heels. So she switched into heels.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a hand on the end of her kendo pole to pat her head as she's listening to a recording of voices. And she has a look on her face that's just, please kill me now.
Honestly, can I have some of that? Because I'd like to die.
I was waiting for the frickin' the call the witch from ReZero. It feels like a horror panel. Like, my name is Yoshikage Kira. I'm 33 years old.
It's her genuinely going like, I know what I'm doing is creepy and sad, but it is the way I know to self-soothe that I'm in too deep to get out of it. And it's literally just like, oh crap, I'm caught. I really wish I was dead. Like,
yeah, and I mean, not for nothing, if that was as bad as it got, I would have been like, okay, shouldn't have expected too much.
This chapter really hides where they're going with this for longer. Because up until this point, I'm still okay with it. I'm like, oh, so her whole thing is she's got like a strong outer front, but she wants to be consoled. That's kind of weird because that's kind of similar to Giantess Girl, but they're thematically different enough, so it's fine.
Yeah, because the idea with it starts with a Y. The thing with Giantess Girl is,
I'm pretty sure
her thing is that she's nice and she acts nice, but because of her physical appearance, people don't see her that way. This one is, I need to be strong. I feel that my desire for comfort and consolement is a weakness, therefore I must hide it. It's the same vague idea, but it's a different enough idea that the two of them could actually theoretically really complement each other. You know, these two characters could play off of each other and enhance each other's characters.
And we get a really sweet scene of Rentaro just going like, "This, hey, no judgment. It's okay. I'm like, I accept you. You can lean on me. Like, I'll deal with it." I'm a little uncomfortable with, even in these panels, they really love shoving her head down off panel. Like, there is a lot of blowjob imagery with her.
But Rentaro's like stroking her hair. It's okay. You want someone to lean on to. I understand. But fellas, we neglected to mention a key bit of internal monologue when
that internal monologue has nothing to do with what she does, Sam, and you know it.
She says, "The merest pat on the head reverts me to a feeble infant." And I thought, oh, she talks in grandiose terms. She's being hyperbolic. No.
She is being disturbingly literal.
She goes, "Willie, can I have a pat, Willie?
Can I have a pat, Joe, please?"
This isn't trying too hard to be sexy baby talk. This is talking like a baby.
Yes.
Like, this is...
And he takes the bait.
She starts sucking her thumb. She calls him daddy.
I don't like it.
I love you, Daddy. Rentaro's like, "Please call me your boyfriend." Holy I love... this is the most personality we get from Rentaro, of just like, "Please do not call me Daddy. I am not okay with that. For the love of God, I love all of my girlfriends implicitly against my own needs or wants, but do not do this to me."
Oh, I hate this. I hate it.
Yeah. So then he cuddles with her until she feels better. And then it's night. And she's just embarrassed and just goes like, shaking his hand. "So, thanks for indulging my kink. That was really good. If we could do this some other time, that'd be great. And could we not talk about it?"
Yep, of course. I'll never tell another soul.
As an audience member, I wish they didn't talk about it anymore.
I will say,
wish it was a secret and not immediately revealed in her girlfriend introduction chapter.
Yeah, I will say, I did like that panel because it was very funny to have them both blushing and very sternly shaking hands.
Yeah, the stern handshake was funny.
The stern handshake of like, "Yeah, we just did a really weird kink, and I'm glad you had a good time. I'm not sure I want to talk about this or evaluate it, Like...
So we have a fight scene for the girlfriend introduction chapter, because the true way to know somebody is to duel them, but we're not having another tournament arc so soon, so it's a free-for-all.
It's all of the previous girlfriends against what's her name?
Kishika.
And honestly, it's some pretty good kendo.
It's very One Piece.
Until they pretend that it's Demon Slayer.
But yeah, they refer to a bunch of them as Hashira. Yeah. Like, funnily enough, this actually does a decent job of having escalation. Like, this basically does what the sumo duology could not do.
This was an actually good fight scene.
Yeah.
This was arguably better than the Hashira training arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, this is the best chapter of Demon Slayer that we've read in
I do like how they have a whole thing where like Granny and Natty they're both just like actually skilled in kendo for their own backstory reasons. So they're tying Kishika up while the others do a stupid gimmick to get in there and fight her. But right as it seems that she's about to be defeated, she's like, "I will have to unleash my true strength.
Show me your motivation."
And gets a multi-kill on all of them.
And then she goes like, "Yeah, I'm the best. I'm gonna claim my prize. Is that okay, Rentaro?"
I wouldn't say no. Okay, I actually did legitimately like this joke, because it's stated at the beginning that the judge of this contest is Rentaro, but after the big final attack for the Hashira fight, it's Mado as the judge. But you're used to Mado being the judge. She's always the judge in these stupid events.
Yep. And as Katana Girl is kissing Rentaro,
Hahari
comes up behind, pops him on the head, and just goes, haha.
You miscounted.
You and the audience both miscounted and forgot who had been eliminated because there are too many characters.
Okay, legitimately, I thought that the manga miscounted.
I love the smug look on Hahari's face so much.
She's so smug. That is such a good panel. That's an amazing panel.
She is so proud of herself.
The smug look on Hahari's face, the shocked confusion on it is legitimately very funny. And then the rest of the chapter happens. We don't have to talk about it, right?
We kind of have to, but I will point out I do like how it's added to the fact that because they're in kendo gear, Hikari and Hahari look so fucking similar. You would be forgiven for confusing them.
Not knowing which is which, yeah.
But yeah,
so the breastfeeding happens, and we're moving on.
So this manga's too wholesome for any amount of physical intimacy with Rentaro, but it's okay for breastfeeding to happen,
I guess.
Yeah, that was a very... I'm actually surprised it took us this long to get to the breastfeeding kink. I'm actually surprised. Yeah.
But the problem was, it was a kink then. This is legitimately something is wrong with Katana Girl where she mentally regresses into a baby. Like,
yes.
This is
not just
kink.
uncomfortable.
This is like, this is a mental illness. Like,
well, everyone was a little let down that she wasn't as genteel as she first seemed. The family was relieved that deep down, she was one of them. A fucking freak.
This does have my favorite end of chapter gag where the writer and artist both appear, and it's like, the writer when the storyboards went through, okay, that went through. The artist when she saw the storyboards, really? So it's just the artist, the writer was just like, I can't believe this got approved. I guess we have to make this.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the title of the goddamn manga. I didn't think I'd get this far.
And yeah, the final chapter, I'm gonna just say it's a gimmick with ramen challenges.
Yeah.
And each of them are some kind of freak that allows them to overcome the challenge. It's
I kind of felt bad for this woman whose entire existence has been to cook her spite into food.
Yeah, because she embarrassingly lost a spicy food challenge in her tragic backstory, and
so tragic.
Declared vengeance upon all humanity by creating the ultimate spicy challenge, and then she gets the 2 drug addicts.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, I see how this is going.
Yeah, and then she proceeds to create new challenges, and then at some point just stops making challenges, because literally, at one point she just makes a super expensive bowl of ramen and goes, no one will beat the challenge of paying for this really expensive bowl of ramen.
She must be having, like, she must be seriously, like, overcharged. Definitely running some thin margins there.
No, I think she just bought like a $10,000 ring and put it on the ramen she served.
You also got a certificate of authenticity and put it on the seaweed.
So it's literally, you just paid like $11,000 for a $10,000 ring and some ramen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kurane didn't actually win her challenge through her own gimmick, because the challenge was the incredibly tough cut of beef.
Yeah, and it was Momiji who massaged the beef.
Who somehow massaged dead muscle. Okay. I guess that does technically work.
Her hands will make you nice and tender.
The other good one is the ramen that just has soft serve ice cream and a hamburger on top.
I'm just more impressed.
And it's just like, Nadi comes in and says like, that there's American food. I'm gonna eat it. She also doesn't finish, but wins somehow. I'm not really sure what the challenge was there.
No, she's about to not finish, and then she says, "Everyone knows a gator's belly is never full. For America."
Oh,
she has the belly to consume all 50 states. She'll be president.
I guess I misunderstood what the narrator box of "she America'd through the challenge" was supposed to mean. I thought it was just act like you'd won without actually doing that.
Honestly, take your pick.
She's defeated by the Rentaro family one day at a time, and that brings us to the end of our reading, thank God.
Mercifully to the end.
So, favorite of the characters and favorite of our new roster of girlfriends.
Indeed.
You know,
I'll go.
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
Sure. So this overwhelmingly proves again and again I am not their target demographic because this is just nonsense being thrown at the wall. But I have to say, okay, I'm gonna be honest. Best girlfriend is Grandma, hands down. I'm intrigued. I called this. We knew it was coming.
I called it too, but it didn't come in the way I wanted.
It came, and I'm here for it. Because I honestly have to agree with everyone. I think she's going to be the most interesting girlfriend. Because she's kind of had the most experience, even more so than... Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Hahari's mom. Because Hahari's mom... was she ever...
Oh, I wish it was Hahari's mom.
Yeah.
Hahari is the mom.
Was Hahari ever, I guess, married to...
No.
Yeah, she's just a creepy stalker.
They bent over backwards to have it not actually have been.
So normal. She's never been in a relationship as far. So really,
no, yeah. She was in a relationship with Hikari's dad, but they were teens, but they did some sort of science machine AI.
Not just teens, weren't they like both like 13?
Oh yeah, they were
14?
Like in middle school. Yeah, it
was
so
weird.
Creepy. It was weird
he was
and
dying
dumb.
of an illness. And
he had anime dying to death disease, and then they extracted his
was
essence
weird
from his balls.
It was weird because they gave like 4 explanations for why it was okay. And any one of them would have been like, that's kind of weird, but they were both 13, so they made dumb decisions. Like, you could accept it there. All 4 of them on top of each other is just like, this is just weird.
As they continued to explain it more, it got worse. Like most things in this manga.
Yes. Yep. But I'm rooting for Granny because she's the most experienced. But also because she's the most experienced, it's gross. These are children.
My favorite character is still Natty because America. Yeah, that's my only justification. It's the first one that popped into my brain. Favorite of the new girlfriends is Large Girl, Yamame. She big.
You would climb?
She big, yes. How about you, Matt?
I gotta go with Iku. They toned down the weirdness of Iku in this reading, so she was just kind of weird, but they also cranked up the weirdness of all the other girls, so she seemed more normal by comparison. So Iku kind of reclaimed a lot of territory in my heart. Also, Natty's just amazing. Natty had the best story in this, so she was also the best part of the chapter I didn't like where they went hiking, so.
Jacob, how about you?
I really, really wish I could say Kishika, but honestly, she might be one of my least favorite, and that's a high goddamn bar, which is really frustrating. As for favorite of the new one, it's either gonna be Yameme, the giantess, or Yaku Grandma. I like them both for different reasons. But it mostly boils down to both of them were decent at retaining their personalities after their introductory chapters, which is unfortunately unique in this manga. Between the two of them, I think I'm going to have to lean towards Grandma just because she was very consistently in character and was not merely a gimmick. I think a big part of that is the fact that she isn't real, like she doesn't have a gimmick and then also have a personality. She just has a personality. Like, I guess to some degree there's like the whole I don't understand modern like technology and stuff, but like that isn't used very often with her. It's mostly just the fact that like she actually has life experience and can employ it with all of these goofballs. Favorite character overall, I mean, like Karane and Nano have been my consistent favorites, but boy, they're gone full beige dish rag now. They don't have any personality left, so I think actually it might actually be Yaku again as character overall, because
Rip Karane.
Yeah, Karane is, and it's like honestly for me, rip Nano, because like Nano used to be so funny and so like she was the deadpan snarker. She's not even that anymore.
Nano did get a pretty good chapter. It was just good, so we didn't talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Nano.
Also, complaining that Kurane didn't get a lot of focus in our reading is kind of like,
I mean,
being a little needy considering she was overrepresented in like the previous 2 readings.
I know.
No,
but they gave us time to like her, so now we
Yeah.
lament her not being here.
Yeah, they gave her
that
too
gave
much
her a
focus, though.
personality.
You made her think she was the main character.
Yeah.
Like, that was the problem.
Yeah. And I mean, like, the other thing about Kurane is she's actually one of the most present characters. I will never bother counting lines in this because it is not worth that level of effort. But I'd put money on the fact that Kurane has the most lines of any character. But like,
well, because we always get her internal monologue.
Well, we get it. We get either her internal monologue or her shouting, "This is stupid." Like, she's supposed to be the straight man commenting on all the weirdness, but like, it's the same thing over and over again. There's no variation. There's no personality. There's no charm to it. She's just lost everything. And unfortunately, Nano is kind of in the same position where it's like, yeah, she had the Thumbelina chapter, but like, nothing that is unique to Nano specifically really exists anymore. She's just the robot gimmick, and sometimes not even that much.
Yeah.
It's the problem that.
Go ahead.
It's the problem that this whole manga has, because quite frankly, I've said it before, it's not badly written. It's just the very nature of this thing murders characters. They just get sanded down by sheer weight of character. Sheer weight of numbers. There's nothing to do about it.
I mean, at the very least, the manga is aware of it, and it's just like, we're stuck with the title. So,
it's going to be really interesting how they work out pacing in the future, because it's like, are we still going to say, okay, we're just going to cycle through each girlfriend to have a cutaway, like, solo episode, and then just together in subsequent chapters? How are we going to manage that?
Nope. They all live on that ever-expanding roof together.
I have not noticed that like half the female pop gone in that school.
They gotta start dating from other schools is the problem.
That's what I'm saying. They got a couple of adults, but not all of them. They're mostly from that school.
It's becoming increasingly unlikely that Rentaro has not run into these women while walking around the school before. Like, Giantess is already a little weird because he's like, she's tall and big. You think he would have noticed her in the hallways before?
Yeah. I mean, like props to the author in like committing to the gimmick and like, no, we're not going to have a revolving door of characters. We're going to have everybody here all the time. Like, props for the effort, props for the attempt, but like, boy, I'm not like, it's just bad.
So that's a pretty good answer for would you continue reading? I feel like we can skip that one. I think the answer is pretty obvious for all of us. Unless this gets lots of views, in which case we'll see you next year, folks.
I was about to say, I don't enjoy reading this, but I really love recording the episodes.
Yeah,
you know exactly. What? That's a fair point, because as I was reading this, the whole time I'm like, God, I hate this. Why is there more? I am not enjoying this. I'm not having any fun at all. Like, and it's like, there'd be these moments of it's like, man, that's a really funny joke. Or, oh, that's an interesting character. She deserves an actual series. But then we started recording this, and I have been having a for this entire time.
Because, like, the one thing I will say is it's a comedy manga with good jokes occasionally, which is so fucking rare.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, there were presumably jokes in My Wife Has No Emotion. I couldn't tell you what they were.
Me neither.
I would say the robot fucker warranty, but they played that completely straight. That's our joke.
We made that a joke.
Yeah.
Well, as is tradition, we gotta guess what girlfriends they still haven't covered, right?
Well, they did the GILF, so my go-to guess is out.
Well, we haven't gone through all the Party City costumes yet, so we still got to get a nurse.
We have to get a goth.
We still have to get a tech
we have a doctor.
Person.
Ooh, you're right. We don't have a tech person.
You know what I mean with the streamer chick.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I will bring up what we said earlier about the girl who's still in love with her ex-boyfriend, but is into him being cucked.
We have a cuck. We have cuck. Also separate from streamer girlfriend is you need to have. Do we have an animal girl?
Oh yeah,
or just an animal.
Well, the sexy squirrel might actually end up being one of the girlfriends. That would be very funny.
No,
that would
something
be...
that could actually happen. Kasuri makes a drug to turn the squirrel into a human.
Oh my
god! I hate it.
Because I was gonna say a furry or somebody who like wears animal ears as their gimmick. But honestly, Kasuri makes a drug to turn the squirrel human.
And she's still got the squirrel tail. And
she's still got the squirrel tail and ears.
Yep. So that's 100% happening.
You know what? Peak.
So I didn't think about this previously, and your streamer one is kind of the same vibe, but I thought about this during the Natty chapter. We need like a girl who is just a rapper. Like has like a turntable and everything, backwards hat.
Hip hop star, yeah.
Bronatsu. We need Bronatsu.
We need no, that's a separate girl. I just want a girl who cracks open some beers and is just like, you kids fuck yet? Nah, be cooler if you did. Really, you know what I've just got a general vibe of what I want. We've got too many goody two shoes. We need more bad girls.
Oh my god.
Which really, just running theme is we need more tomboys and we need more bad girls.
Can you imagine what Matt's type is? I don't know.
I'm just saying, if Tomboy Outback Steakhouse was a place, I would eat nowhere else.
Can that be a thing? I agree. I don't eat, and I agree with that side.
Thank you, everybody, once again for tuning into the Overmanga cast.
We also need a ghost.
Yeah, we need a ghost. We need a ghost.
As always, you can find us on all your social medias where we are.
And a brown girl.
Oh my god.
We don't have one yet. Foreign exchange student.
Or a Gangaro. We're just getting another one.
You're right.
Yeah.
Robot. We need a robot.
Oh, we need a robot. We need
a robot
Android.
fucker warranty. Oh, an alien.
You can also comment and subscribe on YouTube. Episodes go down a 2-week delay.
Oh, we need one that doesn't let Sam finish outros.
Oh, that's gonna be my favorite.
We'll get working on that. Yeah.
And you can send suggestions to overmangacast@gmail.com or go to overmangacast, leave a comment in the doobly-doo, and
what about a good sword lady?
Like a medieval sword lady?
Oh, no. Still the samurai gimmick, but just, not with the weird baby fetish thing.
Oh, yeah. A mentally stable sword lady.
I just want a do-over on a sword lady.
Yeah.
And tune in next week where we're going to read Monochrome Days, chapters 1 through 9. Help me, please. Cut the clip.
No.
Cut the tape.
Oh, we need an editor girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, someone who edits all this. Actually, oh my god, the actual manga editor is a girlfriend.
I second this, yes. Make it
night,
so.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.